for an eye, we gon' even it now. 4 young niggas, all we need is a night. Said a prayer for the guys, hope he ain't forgot. Said a prayer for the guy, hold on. We was real high, 400 G code. You snitch, you a bitch, nigga, ain't no loophole. My team still ball, NBA ain't no JUCO. Bitch, I'm the true Mike J with the flu though. To feel the stand up, nigga, pass the cool coach. Bad love vibe, thick Uncle Luco. I know she a freak and Ted Kumpo. Bitch, I'm a dog, I'm related to Cujo. She ate it off the bone when she entered the coop though. You either get a drink or you get in the coupe roll. Can't be where you been in the trap trying to get it. Rick and Rose trying to push it to the limit. Another nigga pocket.
What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? I got on a shirt. It's a half shirt, but I got on one. So I know I might look. What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? I got on a shirt. It's a half shirt, but I got on one. So I know I might look. If I do like this, I look like I'm naked. So yes, it's definitely clothes on. I want to have a serious discussion today because, to be honest, I'm disturbed by stuff I've been coming across. The people. Wait a minute. Yeah, I got to figure out how to turn off my camera. I won't worry about it right now. The glare is irritating me from the light from the laptop. But share me out. Hit the like button. If you ain't already subscribed, go ahead and subscribe. No need in acting funny now. Hold on, y'all know I gotta check my I need to figure out how to turn how to turn the camera off. I do not know how to turn the camera off, y'all. It's been so long, and then I upgraded the StreamYard. So, I see it. Never mind. So if people want to join, you're more than welcome to join. Put in your 2 cents. Let's keep it respectful. Let's not blow this up more than what it already is. But it's a few topics that we need to get to. And I wanted to, we got to finish the Hunter Metcalf interview and analyze that. But also Nathan Daly, shout out to him, because I've been following him for a minute. And I will be honest, he did a recent video on how Carmelo Anthony's defense attorney dropped the ball. Rather them dropping the ball on purpose because of the Batson challenge and the jurors being struck at the last minute. That could have been one reason. Another reason is he was paid off. And another reason that was also put out there is he could possibly be incompetent. Now let's go ahead and go down the list real quick, right? I want y'all to hit the like button and I want y'all to share me out. I do. Like, we can't stop talking about this story. I'm gonna tell you why. I'm gonna explain to you why it is important that we keep this topic going. It's very important. It's important to us. It's important to your children. Let's keep this topic going, because the biggest problem is people not speaking about it, or people adding their own narrative, their own facts, their own spin on what happened. And to be honest, y'all, when you have expert trial witnesses who've been in murder trials and been an expert witness for the defense, or prosecution side, I've been waiting on Nathan Daly, y'all. I've been waiting on him to drop this video because, hold on, I gotta check my sound. Wait a minute. Going, because the biggest problem. I sound clear. Very clear, crystal clear. What's up, Frederick? What's up, Leon? Share me out. Hype me up. Hey, hype me up, huh? Hype me up. Hey, hype me up. Hype me up. Hype me up. Hype me up, though. Share the live out. Tell people to come see about me. Y'all know how I get down. Big Florida shit. Big Duval shit. Big Duval. Oh, and shout out to No Captivity. I don't know if y'all follow him, but when I tell y'all, I love the way he has brought us the testimony of the actual individuals who seen the video. They seen what happened. The entire video, not that 2-minute bull crap that people been talking about that was shown in trial. He's been really on top of things. Like, y'all go like, share, and subscribe to No Captivity. I like his work. I like the way his mind works. He is a person that questions everything until there's definitive answers. That is the most important aspect. And y'all just let me know if the audio is crystal clear, okay? Let me know. But while y'all hit the like buttons and share me out, all 3 of my pages is streaming this live. So the infamous Empress, the Conspiracy Queen, if y'all not subscribed to them channels, one of my moderators, if y'all can, I don't even know if y'all know how to get to it. Let me see. I ain't gonna say I don't know how y'all get to it, but let me and then let's see here. So let me go through these comments, baby. So we got Nomad. We got me. I say hit the like button. That's what I said. I'm gonna leave that up though. I love me some Fred. I love you too, Fred. Now, Frederick, you got to be careful when we had, Leon and stuff in here. He don't, you know what I'm saying? Y'all seen the thumbnail, right? I know y'all seen the thumbnail. Remember I told y'all Jeff Metcalf knew them people. I told y'all that. I told y'all. I told you so. And I say I told you so. I told you so. I told y'all they knew them people. I figured that much. There wasn't even a change of venue put in for it to be in Collin County. So again, it don't make any sense. It's people not. And then I want to talk about the little boy that was unalived at the Walmart by the officers saying that the mama was shoplifting. Now what's crazy is, sorry, I'll turn it down. But what's crazy is the mother never took anything out of the store. She was not shoplifting. And they unalived her 1-year-old baby. So y'all, put some praying hands in the chat for little Coven. I hope and pray that their family gets the justice that they deserve and they need in that closure. But nothing will bring that baby back. And that's the hardest pill that those parents have to swallow, and the grandparents, the family. And I think whoever made that call, they need to be prosecuted, because we realize as melanated Black people in these United States, right? We realize that calling the cops on us, calling the police on us could potentially lead to somebody being unalived. It is very dangerous. Extreme. And tell me if I'm too loud, y'all. Tell me if I'm going too hard. Tell me if it's too much. But I feel for those parents when it comes to that situation. We definitely gonna get to that. We certainly gonna get to that. Because I think that it's unfair for that young mother, the father, the grandfather. I saw a video where the grandfather was walking around giving out flyers. And my personal opinion, I believe that they should get an attorney and they should sue Walmart right out of business. There is no amount of compensation that will heal the wound that police department has inflicted on this family. And even if she, like, this is my point, because y'all know in my past, in my former life, I was a booster. I definitely was. I will never sit here and not own up to my past history. Now, am I going to divulge everything? No, but I was a booster. I used to steal stuff out of stores. I did. I did, and then I got caught and learned my lesson. But before I got caught and learned my lesson, I can't imagine going in Walmart just to get, you know what I'm saying, get me a Gator shirt, which I'll tell y'all how we used to do it. We would go in there and put the clothes on and put our clothes on top of the clothes and walk right out. I'm talking about walk right out. Hats, everything, socks, all that, all that, underwear, like all that, everything going. But I can't imagine being in a situation where I would have lost my life, or, you know, I ain't do that. Like when I had kids, I slowed down. Like I told y'all, the last situation with Walmart, when I got caught up, I just, you know, I gave that life up because I'm a mother and I can't dare be separated from my sons. So, you know what I mean? I'm just a real one like that. I'm going to admit what I've done in the past. I'm not scared of my past like some people. Some people are afraid to talk about their past because it exposes who they are. But that's who I was then. But I can't imagine being unalive because somebody said that they thought, not they saw me, not confirmed, but they thought I was stealing. And then here come the police, trigger cheat, pow, pow, pow. Like that's sad. Not to mention it's a depressing situation. She said I look like a teacher. Dang, I look like a teacher. Hold on, y'all. Let me turn my camera back on. So I look like a teacher. I look like somebody teacher. Girl, I don't know if I could. I guess it'll be elementary, middle school. Oh, you talking about the glasses? I know I look like somebody teacher. And my face is my skin is so clear, y'all. But my face so shiny. But no, okay, so let's get to it. I think we've killed enough time. I'm sure people will come in. If they come, they come. If they don't, they don't. Y'all know I rock regardless. Regardless. So no matter who shows up. Hold on. Let me see if I turn this light up. Will it look better? I'm looking at my phone, y'all. My phone is down. Oh yeah, that's much better. Now y'all can see my skin. No bumps. I had a period bump right there, but okay, lip gloss popping. Check. Okay. All right. I'm ready to get going. Y'all know I'll be going. And I'm ready to get going because it's a lot that we got to talk about. Like we have to have a moment where we just like really being real with each other. I see so much fake shit out here going on. I'm gonna take these glasses off though. Ooh, look at her. Look at her. But I think that as a community, we gotta show unity and solidarity. I think that Walmart should be boycotted. If you can go without shopping at Walmart, I wouldn't shop with them. I don't I don't like shopping with Walmart. I usually don't shop with Walmart because of the stereotypes. What's up, Rose? Share me out, hype me up. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna be dropping the link later if anybody want to tap in and give like their input, or just, you know what I'm saying, just have their own, like everybody is entitled to their own opinion, right, about everything that's going on. Everything. Matter of fact, let me drop the link. So with everybody having the opportunity to speak and you know, as Pola would say, get their shit off, because I think it's very important that we keep these stories going. Silence is complicity. We not being complicit no more. We're not being implicit to anybody's actions. If somebody did some fuck shit, we need to call it out and we need to talk about it. I do believe that Carmelo Anthony's judge, as y'all can see from my thumbnail, the judge was down with the whole setup. But this is the hit kicker. When you start doing your research, you find out that Judge Roaches, his roaches, roaches. I don't even like roaches. Call me Raid. But Judge Roach, um, he's got some explaining to do. hmm He's got some explaining to do, baby. Because why didn't you recuse yourself? Hmm. That's why I believe this is a setup. What we call railroading was a modern day lynching. We see it. We saw it. We saw what happened. First of all, how I ain't never heard of Saturday Court. Tell me anybody, and then from the links, y'all click on the it only dropped two? Oh, hold on, let me pin this link. There we go. I think I did it right. But Judge Roach, right? So did y'all see Dr. Candace Matthews expose him? Because he's been exposed. He's been exposed. He's been exposed beyond words, baby. Beyond words, baby. And him and the prosecutor have, my bad, have all kinds of things against them. But of course it's SA allegedly. Well, I'm not even gonna say alleged because it's documented. It's paperwork on these people. So how in the hell could the prosecution sit up and call Carmelo Anthony a right click on this tab? Okay, hold on. Okay, I like this. This is cool. I got a new laptop, y'all, and I'm loving it. I'm learning how to, what's up, all dubs? I ain't musty today. I just got out the shower, sir. I just got out the shower, sir. That might be you. You might be smelling yourself. You might be musty. The balls might be musty, dubs. But okay, so back to the topic at hand. Let's get here. And dubs, while you talking about somebody musty, your musty ass better had hit the like button. Let me check my likes. Y'all don't even share a real bitch out. That's crazy. Y'all don't even tag a real bitch. I told y'all I was coming back. Now I know I was supposed to come back last night, but I got tired, y'all. I was on live for like 2 hours yesterday. That should have been enough. But y'all know it's serious when I come and I'm talking about some serious stuff. What's up, Jasper? What's up? But like I said, we got to start standing in the paint for our people, man. Nobody's gonna stand up for us. Y'all, do y'all not see what's happening? And the thing is, if we allow this to proceed with Carmelo, with no kind of plan and action to stand up for his rights, his right to defend himself. Number one, we all have that right to defend ourselves, especially if you're in a situation that you could possibly be unalived or you feel like you can be unalived. Guess what? You're supposed to defend yourself. There is no reason why, you should be feeling like, oh, well, if I defend myself, I'm not going to be able to, I might go to prison. Sometimes, listen, y'all, sometimes we got to be the token. Sometimes it's going to be injustice before you get justice, but don't let go. Don't give up because they win. See, with this case, Jeff Metcalf thought that because he has the connections that he has, that it would actually mean something. It did for Carmelo. It did. Because, and I'm going to tell y'all why. It meant something because Carmelo didn't have a chance in Collin County. Jeff Metcalf, the racist, he was the first person to pop out and say, oh, it's not about race. Y'all remember that? Do y'all remember that? Or do I need to refresh y'all? Because I know y'all be forgetful. Y'all be on drugs and shit. So I know y'all be forgetful. So, I'll just, remind y'all of what he said. And even his reasoning for going to the Anthony's, um, and look, even more, like he's still speaking about Carmelo and the family. Now, granted, I'm not finna take that away from him. He has a right to be mad. He lost his son. We not finna be that callous, guys. Okay. So I've come across a few people that's like, fuck Hunter. I mean, fuck Alston. And it shouldn't be like that. No, no, we're not doing that. I'm not doing that. I'm gonna say I'm not doing that. Me. Because in the end, somebody still lost their life. But don't go nowhere because I know y'all already click off because I said that. But you can't approach somebody, try to provoke them, and then be surprised by what you get out of it. I stick to, and I'm gonna try to get. Let me go there too. But Jeff Metcalf was the first one to say it wasn't about race. He came outright and said it wasn't about race. People are making it about race, but the truth is, it was about race from the beginning. Black and I disagree with Carmelo Anthony saying, "Oh, black people brought." Excuse me, yeah. Black people brought, you know, hold on, I'm typing. It wasn't about race, but you went on a racist rant. So we got to ask ourselves, how does that make sense? If it's not about race, why would you continuously say the things that you've said and expect for us to believe that it wasn't about race? That's a lie. It's certainly about race. Certainly about race. Hold on, y'all. We're not going to sit here and pretend, baby. That's what we're not going to do. We know it was about race. Like I said, he waited to the perfect time to show his true colors. Because if he would have shown those colors, which he ain't fool everybody wasn't fooled. You feel me? There are some legit people who knew, like, man, this man full of shit. He got to be such and such. And he was exactly what a lot of people thought he was. But like I said, am I frozen? It's time I enter in the studio. Oh, this is my StreamYard. That's why. Okay. Hold on. Let me close that. Oh. Okay, there we go. I'm still live. I had to make sure. Let me know if it's buffering or anything, y'all. And then, like I said, as y'all come in, hit the like button. Share the live out. Hype me up. Jasper said, I am teaching. I'm going to teach your kids better. If you don't touch people, teach your kids better. If you don't touch people, you don't have to worry about them reacting to your actions. Because one thing that we cannot dictate is how somebody reacts to what we may do to them. Sorry, we don't get that. We don't get to choose. Well, I pushed you, or first of all, like I said yesterday, a push from a damn near 300-pound, 6-foot tall man is a strong push, baby. That's a strong push. And Carmelo Anthony had every right to fear for his life being taken because, like they used in the Zimmerman trial against Zimmerman, when speaking of Trayvon Martin, and Trayvon Martin did not have a weapon. He did not have a weapon. He did not possess a weapon. He was not approaching this man. This man was on the phone with the police, and they told him to stop following this young boy. What did he do? He continued to pursue him because he wanted to be a police officer so fucking bad. So bad. He wanted to be on a squad so bad, to the point to where We know what happened. And they tried to say that the concrete, because Trayvon Martin was beating the dog snot out his ass, that the concrete could be possibly considered a weapon. How? Okay, I get it. People hit the concrete pavement and they lose their life. Lots of things can happen to people. You know what I mean? So I get it. I get it. However, what I don't get is us pretending like we don't see what's right in front of our faces. What's up, Dequan? We see what's happening. We see it. They showing us every single day. This melanated black beautiful skin. This beautiful skin. You can't even tell I'm almost 40. Most people look at me and say I'm about 16 or 17. I'm like, been there, done that. Ain't trying to go back. Even though those were the good times, but I wouldn't trade in anything for this knowledge. This knowledge that I've obtained growing older, I wouldn't trade it in for nothing. Because it matters, especially living in Florida, dealing with all of the things that I deal with that's on that we have to deal with just on a daily basis. Like, hold on. We got Fred. What's up, Frederick?
What's up, girl? How you doing?
I'm good. How you doing?
You looking all lovely today, girl. You looking all beautiful and sexy.
Oh, beautiful and sexy. Thank you, Fred.
I'm loving
Okay.
you today, girl. I'm loving the looks off you today, girl. I'm just loving it.
All right now.
You looking sweet now.
Okay, okay. Well, let me.
Yep.
Do you have anything to add to the commentary about Carmelo Anthony? Do you want to share your views, Fred?
I don't know nothing about that. I just came up here to tell you about your sexy self, girl. You know.
All right, Fred, get in the comments, baby, because we gotta listen. We gotta keep it. We gotta keep the momentum going as far as speaking about this situation. So, Fred, since you don't know, I will be happy to educate you and let you know what's been going on, who Carmelo Anthony is, and why we sitting here talking about him. Right. So, I think yesterday, where we left off at was listening to Hunter's Lies, right? Where he stated that, you know, the brother grabbed the bag. We remember the story. Matter of fact, I thought I could get the not on. Let me go back. But I just think, like I said, I gotta watch. I gotta watch. They make me sit with these commercials. They do. I don't think y'all can hear it though. But hold on, let me get. I'm finna get to the point where we stopped at yesterday. Cause remember, we were airing it bitch out yesterday. We were airing it whole out yesterday. You know what I'm saying? It is very important that we not stop talking about the situation. I might not agree with other people who are speaking on it. Hold on. Okay. I might not be able to agree with other people who speaking on it. It's all right, Fred. It's all right. You good. But um it's so much to talk about with this case. It's all over the place for one. For two, it's hold on. Oh, it's an audio version of this article. I can read. I don't need no audio version. But let me turn my camera off. All right. All right. All right. All right. And then what we're going to listen to first is, like I said, what we were doing yesterday. We're going to pick up on where we left off because we're going to expose the lies. We're going to expose the lies, all of them. And so far, these lies have been unraveling, baby. When I say unraveling, Hunty, unraveling. And I think it's important, like I said, that we do not stop speaking about this. It is very important that we stop acting like we don't know what's really going on, right? Because we know. We know. We do. So we just have to stay vigilant. I'm not gonna stop talking about it. So if y'all don't want to hear about it, you know what you could do. You know what you could do. Chicka chicka boom boom. You know what you could do. Let me see. Okay, add to stage.
He's a good kid. Just, we just got a little altercation. That's really it. But he has a good heart. Everyone knows. Everyone around here knows he's a great kid. He just one mistake from that dude, and just took my brother. Just
One mistake, and he took my brother. Now, a little altercation. Like I was talking to Freeze last night, and I said, we know as Black people what it means when you say you had an altercation. It's a fight. He didn't call it a fight though, because like I said, if you pay attention to his eyes in both interviews that he has had so far. What's up, Aaron? In all of the interviews that he has had so far, it looks like somebody is coaching him. Now, y'all can call me a conspiracy theorist, and I know I do be on some conspiracy shit sometimes, but this is the biggest cover up that we done seen in our day and age. This is the biggest cover up we done seen. We got to be mindful of that. Saturday court should have got y'all all on board with that though. But a lot of my people still were saying, well, he's guilty and he took someone's life. Well, he did. But you don't think that he has a right to defend himself? The precedence of this case basically tells us that Black people cannot fear for their lives. Black people can't feel unsafe, which is a lie. We're human. We're human. And these are children we talking about. So I can believe that he was genuinely terrified. Look at how big Hunter is. He towers over his mother.
he didn't deserve it. No one deserves a loss from a family like that. I know people that lose their family members all the time, but I just didn't know it was gonna be mine so soon. My best friend and my brother my whole life, but if y'all could just like not y'all, sorry. Just like thank y'all for just comforting us in like the Frisco area has been comforting my family and me. I just really appreciate everything that everyone.
Notice he said the Frisco area comforting me and my family. Now I get, y'all have to excuse me because I'm chewing on this chicken slider. But I get and understand, okay, the family needs support in their time of mourning, right? But the way this shit is looking now, I'm telling you, it's a cover up. It's a cover up. They just didn't expect this much attention. That's why when it happened last year, like I said, Hunter ran to the news. to be in front of the narrative. Now let's listen to the lies that he tell, and then we're going to go over to someone else who also can dispel Hunter's lies. Hunter is a liar. He's lying. He's hiding something. He might be traumatized. He might be. He saw a dead body. He certainly might be traumatized. However, he's a liar. Eddie is a fucking liar. I don't give a fuck. Like, people's like, oh, they were kids and they're traumatized. Just because you're traumatized don't mean that you lie on an innocent person and send them to fucking prison. That guilt is going to eat his ass up because he got into it with Carmelo. Initially, Austin only stepped in. So from Hunter's accounts, Austin stepped in because he was his protector. He was the big brother, right?
Everyone's done. It's a really hard loss, but we're gonna get through it with my family. So we'll just stay together.
Hey mama, you know I always got something to say. No matter if the weather fine or it's gloomy today.
We did everything together. We did everything together. We heard what he said. So y'all don't think that when it came to problems with people that they dealt with it together? When they had issues with other students that they handled it together? He is, first, I got my own theory about this whole case, y'all. And I'm only going to present my theory once I get done laying out the facts so y'all can follow me, right? Y'all going to be able to follow me because it's a reason why I think this way. And this is just from me being attentive of this story from day one. I've been paying attention. Slick, how you barely following me? Are you slow? What you trying to say? I don't understand what it is to not follow. We listening to a video. We're listening to Hunter's testimony of the events that took place from this news recording. That's where we at right now. And then I'm gonna get into my own theory a little bit later after, like I said, after I present all of the evidence outline. And no, Aaron, he actually said that he asked the kid who he was, and he said, my name is Mello. And he said he getting, I guess you would say serious, more serious. But oh, okay. When things got a little bit more serious, Austin stepped in. So I was saying it to say, he just said that they do everything together. I'm just saying, don't people, and not saying that Carmelo was a problem or problematic, but he's telling us that they do everything together. So I would never stop to think that they would not fight together. That's the first thing that pops in my mind when we speaking about the events that took place, because he's a liar. So we have to take his information with a grain of salt, because he sat there and told us he held his brother and held wound, when truth be told, he never even touched the body. He was lying. So what is he hiding? What is he covering up? But we know what the cover up is. You know what I'm saying? They cover is blown. Big busted. Did y'all catch that? Did you catch it? Aaron, did you catch that? Is you picking up what I'm putting down right now? He said how he's explaining it. He would have been the one initially who had a problem with Mello, not Austin. Austin is a result of what ensued. But he clearly says that he initiated contact with Mello by even asking him who he was. That's what I'm getting at. Okay. I stand corrected. He said we. My bad. We means more than one person. He didn't say I. He didn't say Austin. He didn't say Eddie. He said we, plural, meaning there was more than one person. Now, why Carmelo is, I think, like 5'8", between 5'8", I'd say, and 5'11" at the most. Probably giving him a little bit more than what he got in height. Oh, why ain't nobody say nothing? Why I ain't say nothing? Y'all just sitting there. Damn it. That's my fault. I'm sorry, because I had muted it. When the commercial came on. I'm sorry. I'm going to go back. There we go. Hold on, y'all.
And my brother stepped in and said, you need to move. And he's like, make me move. Austin grabbed his backpack. The kid, I tried to whip around as fast as I could, but I didn't see the stab.
So he said we, and that's what I was honing in on. He said we. No, it was actually the screen share was muted from the commercial. That was my fault. I take that. But he is basically saying that he was there, but he wasn't there. Because how did y'all get into it and y'all told him to leave the tent? He started talking reckless. Then your brother told him he needed to leave, right? But then you say in the same breath that you didn't see the poke. You just turned around, and then you're not going to talk about the rest.
But then I look at my brother, and I'm not going to talk about the rest. So yeah. Just that's just what I saw. And I tried to help him, but
it was just senseless.
It was really senseless. Really, I don't know why a person would do that to someone just over that. little argument. It's just crazy in this world nowadays how people just up and do that. Like a man has a family. That man has people that care about them all the time, and he did everything for our family too. He was a strong man. He was a strong kid.
Mm-hmm.
I was strong, and I know I'm strong too, but he's a little stronger. But he did a lot for our family and a bunch of stuff that we just don't recognize. And it's just like, especially throughout our friends too, like everyone knew, like he was the peacemaker. So I'm saying, like, I heard someone who really makes peace, really calms peace. He makes everything sail smoothly. Because I get upset, but then he calms me down. He's just all there for me. So it's just really heartbreaking to see like how this happened. 17.
Yeah, they'll be 18 in July.
I saw a little article say you guys were 16.
Yeah, yeah.
That's enough of that. That's enough of that. I think I made my point with that interview itself. He distanced himself while at the same time, yeah, he sounds guilty as hell. But you see how, Aaron, he distanced himself, making it seem like he didn't see the poke, because this is the thing. He never wanted to be called as a witness because his story has changed. But also, I want y'all to pay attention to his eye movements. He is reading off of cards or something that was pre-written for him. We just got to be mindful, man. These people are wicked. They wicked. I mean, and I'm saying all, YT people are wicked, because there are some good, we have some good allies that's not standing for a lot of this stuff. A lot of it. They're not with it. They're not going. But it does not negate the fact that we see what's happening with this young man, and they've sent this baby off to prison for 35 years. For 35 years? Come on, man. I don't know in what world is that really justice, when in Texas I thought you had the right to defend yourself, right? I thought you did. Uh-oh. Okay, I don't know what I hate that this shit do, and then all these goddamn pop-ups. Close that. Because we're gonna get to the meat and potatoes, which is Nathan Daly explaining why he disagreed with the defense's mechanisms of challenging because the burden of proof was not on the defense. The burden of proof is on the state. They have to prove that Carmelo used lethal force when self-defense was not necessary, right? So we're gonna go to Nathan Daly, the real Nathan Daly. If y'all are not subscribed, please subscribe to his channel. I've been watching this guy for a good time, and I will tell you, he does great work. He really does. He does great work. But let's get to how the defense team failed Carmelo, because we know that it was a fail. We know. And now it's on us to say what we're going to do about it, right? Okay. No. Oh, no.
Policy and use of force. For those who've seen my previous videos on Carmelo Anthony, you guys, I gave my thoughts and opinions prior to this trial even taking place. place, this was last year, and discussing use of force. You guys, listen, a lot of people are upset, and there's a lot of people that are happy. Some people are saying he didn't get enough time. Some people say he should get the death penalty, while others believe he should have walked away free. You guys, listen, we're going to talk about that. We're going to discuss that along with a lot of things. But before I get into that, I have to say rest in peace to Austin Metcalf. And my prayers continue to go out to the family and friends and loved ones who have lost him during this altercation. My personal position, as well as professional position, was this case was clearly a manslaughter case. I thought it was going to be an easy conviction of manslaughter at best, depending on how good the defense was, maybe negligent homicide. But you guys, regardless of kind of what factors and variables took place, I've always looked at this as a manslaughter case for a lot of different reasons. All right, so before we get into that, here are the topics we'll be discussing in this case. The overall trial, jury selection, we're going to talk about Hunter, Carmelo, and then we're going to talk about the spokesperson for the family. Okay, let's talk about the overall trial. Now, look, I think the state did an okay job. I feel like the state did not put forth the effort needed to make this a slam dunk case. I think that they did really good making a strong emotional argument, and they positioned themselves as saying, hey, listen, this person came here to commit a crime, and he did it. He wanted to kill him. He thought about killing him. He planned it. He prepared himself, and he provoked and antagonized the victim, and he murdered him. All right, he's the aggressor. He came to the tent to do it, and every single witness I bring up here is going to co-sign that. All right. Now, here's the issue I have with the state's position. I felt like they did not do a good job explaining why Carmelo did not have a self-defense claim, at least a strong one. But the effort that the state actually presented never really got challenged by the defense, and that's why I just wasn't really impressed with it. I thought the closing argument was very direct. I feel like the closing argument from the state lacked empathy. It was just like, he's a criminal. He came there for one purpose. He was a thug. He wanted to kill him, and that's exactly what he did, right? The state did not empathize with the fact that, hey, this is a young man. I know he made a mistake. He made the wrong mistake. He thought about it. He planned it. He provoked, and this led, he could say it's an accident, but guess what? The reality is he took this person's life. He killed this person. This person never coming back, right? I feel like it just was so direct, it was so callous, and was straight to the point. Now, that could be problematic, assuming the defense puts on a really good presentation. And the defense did not, you guys. And this is why I felt like the state's presentation of the information, of the facts, was a little bit
I'm gonna pull this up on the website because I don't know why it's buffering like that. YouTube be on BS for no reason. They be on BS for no reason. Can y'all hear me? Can you hear me? Do you hear me? Put a 1 in the chat. Put a 1 in the chat if you can hear me. Put a 1 in the chat if you can hear me. Holla if you hear me. Holla if you hear me. Let me pull. I'm finna pull that same video up. Because I didn't realize, for one, I wasn't muted. So y'all probably heard me smacking and eating this damn slider. And then for two, I just don't like echoes. They irritating. So my apologies if, I hurt anybody's ears with my chewing, or, anybody was grossed out by it, because some people got problems like that. I know my youngest son don't like when people chew. He gets upset if you chew too loudly. So, girl, I know. It's sad, child. Stuff I got to deal with being a boy's mom. Now, it's crazy. That video we were just... Okay, here it is. Here it is. So, let me tell y'all. We're going to start right here. Hold on. And y'all know we're going... So, put your fast ears on, because y'all know I cannot listen to... I got a Gemini brain. I cannot listen to regular speed stuff. Sometimes people just be talking too slow for me. And my brain be like, girl, make them speed up. Make them speed up. Don't slow down, speed up, babe. Okay. Thank you, Fred. Yeah, I don't know what's up with YouTube, but I ain't got time. So let's bring this back up, and then I'm a so y'all can hear exactly who he is, how he how he knows the information that he knows, right? And why he's giving the position that he's given about the case. All right, let's go.
Thoughts as a 13-year law enforcement veteran, also expert witness for police policy and use of force. For those who've seen my previous videos on Carmelo Anthony, you guys, I gave my thoughts and opinions prior to this trial even taking place. This was last year, and discussing use of force. You guys, listen, a lot of people are upset, and there was a lot of people that are happy. Some people are saying he didn't get enough time. Some people say he should get the death penalty. Never really got challenged by the defense, and that's why I just wasn't really impressed with it. I thought the closing argument was very direct. I feel like the closing argument from the state lacked empathy. It was just like, he's a criminal. He came there for one purpose. He was a thug. He wanted to kill him, and that's exactly what he did, right? The state did not empathize with the fact that, hey, this is a young man. I know he made a mistake. He made the wrong mistake. He thought about it. He planned it. He provoked, and this led, he could say it's an accident, but guess what? The reality is he took this person's life. He killed this person. This person never coming back, right? I feel like it just was so direct. It was so callous and was straight to the point. Now, that could be problematic, assuming the defense puts on a really good presentation. And the defense did not, you guys. And this is why I felt like the state's presentation of the information, of the facts, was a little bit lackluster. I felt like it could have easily been challenged, especially with the witnesses that they put up on the stand. A lot of people saying that this was a tall hill to climb. I kind of disagree. Well, I'll say it's hard to say that that's the case when the defense didn't even try. Okay. And so here's the thing.
This is an expert witness, guys. He's an expert trial witness. Like, he's been called from both sides, from the prosecution and the defense side, to testify in courts, different courts. They used him in a few cases where there were unalivings done by police, and he was brought in as an expert witness to testify on, like, was lethal force necessary. Like, he introduced himself. He is, this is the real Nathan Daly channel, right? So boom, he hit it spot on. He is aware, and I don't think that many people understand that. Yeah, listen, bruh, the defense could have objected to every single notion that the state was making, trying to, bait those kids into saying rather it was or was not self-defense. They're not an expert witness, so they cannot speak nor attest to it. Let's continue.
Hunter wasn't even brought on the stand. Carmelo wasn't brought on the stand. Everything in this trial just looked really suspicious. So now let's talk about the defense. All right. And why I'm disappointed in the defense. Some people saying that he didn't have much to work with. I disagree, right? There are things that I believe the defense missed opportunities on, which is a really good cross on the witnesses. There's a lot he left on the table. There's a lot he didn't object to, all right? And he just allowed the witness to create an image of Carmelo Anthony and never really locked them down into their story. A lot of them were caught contradicting their statement from what they told the investigators.
I'm getting irritated with this buffing. I'm getting real irritated with this buffering. I'm just finna play it from my phone because it was not doing it. It was not buffering like that. Like, I don't know what YouTube on, but I'm not on what they on. I don't even appreciate that. I don't even appreciate that. That don't make no sense. I'm talking about the whole time the whole time is just buffering. fuck? Why is it doing that? So I tell y'all what, this is what I'm gonna do. A visual is always, better. Like, I'm a visual person, so I like to have a video there so I can see. You know what I mean? Because people be explaining stuff and their hands be saying something too. The body language is big. So I like to see. I ain't got time to be sitting here just listening. And I know y'all, if y'all want to go listen to the video yourselves, and you free to go and watch the whole video on Nathan's channel. I'm not going to play the whole video, but I'm playing what's important, because for him to be an expert trial witness, right? An expert trial witness. If you got to Google it, look it up, but you will see that there are various types of experts and expert trial witnesses that can be used in a case, whether it's for the defense or if it's for the prosecution. There was a miscarriage of justice done. It was a huge miscarriage of justice.
Which is a really good cross on the witnesses. There's a lot he left on the table. There's a lot he didn't object to. All right. And he just allowed the witnesses to create an image of Carmelo Anthony and never really locked them down into their story. A lot of them were contradicting their statement from what they told the investigators initially to now what they're testifying to on the stand. That was an opportunity for the defense to really hammer in on what they actually saw and what they did not see. And then also bring into question whether or not that particular witness or the other witnesses are credible. He allowed the state to manipulate the narrative and get away with creating this image of Carmelo that he did not challenge. He's a thug. He's a criminal. He came there to kill. The defense, in my opinion, did not have an answer for it, nor did they try to reshape the narrative, right? Again, you're performing for the jury. And if the last thing they hear is that this is the suspect and the suspect is the aggressor and the suspect came to murder, kill, and destroy, and you don't have anything to combat that, well, then why is everybody shocked that he got charged with murder? Okay, the defense failed miserably. And here's my thoughts on this. He was either paid to throw the case, threatened to throw the case, or he's grossly incompetent. You guys, and we know he's not incompetent because he's one of the top lawyers in that area, Frisco, Texas. All right. I'm not saying, I'm just pointing out the obvious. All right. Something about that trial and how Carmelo was defended just seems very, very suspicious. And there's a lot of elementary mistakes that were made. And me, not even as an attorney, can point out some of those mistakes that I feel like were clearly not capitalized on. All right. And what's another thing? The fact that a change of venue was not requested, to me, is crazy. I can't imagine. When I found out they never changed the venue, I was shocked. Okay. Why do I say that, you guys? Everybody knows in the criminal justice community, especially in that area in Frisco, Texas, that place is a cesspool of bias. Okay. And the fact that we're now seeing these relationships.
It's a cesspool of bias. A cesspool. He said cesspool. I ain't say that now. I ain't say all that. He said it's a cesspool of bias. Don't forget to hit the like button, y'all. Now you can support a real Abby. My Cash App scrolling at the bottom of the screen. But let's get back to it.
You know, family members, knowing this person on the Metcalf side, knowing the prosecutor and judges and things of that nature. You guys, you don't think that there's going to be some bias, some influence, some greasing of the elbows? All right, there's just a lot of things about that was very suspicious. And to me, it was common sense. All right, they kept everything inside the house so they can manipulate and have the best outcome possible. Now, I'm not saying that if everything worked out flawlessly, the defense was on point, everybody was honest, I'm not saying that the outcome would have changed. Again, I myself believe this was a manslaughter case. But what I am saying, though, is make Carmelo Anthony guilty for the truth and not guilty for the lies. This was probably...
That's what I'm talking about. Everybody, see, a lot of people have been trying to refute the truth. This is an expert witness, retired police officer, by the way. This man not going to sit here and just say that without him having factual evidence to back that up. Y'all see the thumbnail? On the thumbnail, to the man standing to Jeff Metcalf's right-hand side, I want to say, to the right. Now, if you're looking at the picture, it's gonna be the man to the roach. I mean, I'm talking about to the roach. It's gonna be the man to the left, which is Judge Roach. John, I think his name John Roach Jr. it is imperative that we keep talking about this story. I know a lot of people don't want to hear about it. They want people to stop talking about it. They sick of hearing about it. But no, we will not stop talking about this injustice. It's a modern day lynching. And with that being said, y'all, let's go on to my girl, because she broke this shit down like a pound. She broke it down like a pound. She literally, and that's why I respect Dr. Matthews. I do. She get the utmost respect from me, because she not even trying to hide what she doing. She out front with it. And this video loading. So hold on, y'all.
Young Shad, you killed this.
Oh, you gon' take it what? Oh, you gon' take this bitch to trial and go with your vibe. Violate probation if a fuck nigga testing your slime. You keep a 50 round clip drum off in your nine. On some ignorant shit. Oh, you gon' take it what? Oh, you gon' take this bitch to trial and go with your vibe. Violate probation if a fuck nigga testing your slime. You keep a 50 round clip drum off in your nine. On some ignorant shit. Oh, you reppin' your flag. Nigga fronted you some dope, but you took it and ran. Now it's $1,000 jeans every day on your ass. Showing 30 round clips when you letting them sand. Ballin' hard on them hoes with the paper tag. Every night you in the club, let it blow like a fan. The whole hood know your name, you feeling like the man. You booted up, you went from 0 to 100 grand. And you can ball how you want, cause you taking them trips. On the road once a week with a couple of zips. After you flip this half a bird, you gon' copy with 6. Ocean Drive on the beach and
y'all know that's my jam. On some ignorant shit. We finna get on some ignorant shit, but I want to see what this is. Hold on.
Get it sexy, get it sexy, get it sexy, get it sexy. Boy, you know this ass super fast. Fuck me good, I'm throwing this shit back.
Oh. All right.
I'm here today because I was summoned by the community. What I seen in the past week and a half was a new era, real live lynching that happened with Carmelo Anthony. Now, I had a lot of people reaching out to me on social media. I had a lot of people tagging me and everything because I cannot be everywhere at one time. I'm all over the United States. That's right. But the thing is that when I seen that they had an actual activist and they had a legal team and they didn't have no black people on the jury, that would not have happened on our watch. I don't understand how that was even able to go further than that. That should have went to the First Court of Appeals. Then after the First Court of Appeals, then it go to the Fifth Circuit Court. We would have took it all the way to the Supreme Court. That didn't happen. Another thing that I looked at is that we had people here that were paid to be moles to create chaos. See, we used to dealing with that when we on our activism travels across this United States. That would not have happened on our watch. But again, let's be clear. Everything happens for a reason. But one thing I want to let the community know, just because I wasn't here doesn't.
Y'all know who she talking, who, well, I ain't gonna say who she talking about. But I'm gonna say, can y'all have I'm gonna give y'all an idea of one of the paid agitators I know that was at courtroom during the court proceedings that also did the racist interview with Jeff Metcalf. Sarah Fields. We talk about you, boo-boo. Sarah Fields, boo-boo kitty. Boo-boo kitty. Sarah Fields. Step to the front, ho. Step to the front, Sarah. Why you hiding, Sarah? What you ducking for, Sarah? Don't duck no smoke, Sarah. Sarah, I heard you got paid, girl. How much they pay you? How much they pay you, Sarah? Sarah.
Nigga don't give a fuck about none of that. You bitch ass niggas be hiding. We real headhunters.
We real headhunters, bitch. We real headhunters, Sarah. Sarah. And I'm talking about headhunters like for your head hole, not for no, you know what I mean, no sloppy toppy, Sarah. We know you give up that good Sarah. You give up that good Becky, Sarah. I'm certain. Because the way you got your lips wrapped around the Jeff Metcalf cop, girl, listen. She was one of the people that was actively there. She was one of the people that attacked Neek at night. And like I said, with Neek, I like her. I love her energy. She seems like a positive person. You know what I mean? But I ain't gonna even lie. Y'all know shit like that can't happen to a bitch like me. I'm gonna be completely real. I would have fucked around on some dumb shit. That's why I don't go certain places, because I've gotten better at controlling myself. But I would have beat the fuck out of Sarah Fields. The way she played with Neek at night, man, I would have beat the fuck out of Sarah. On my mama, I would have beat her ass. Like, cause she was really on some dumb shit. I would have been on some shit like parking next to her and everything, pulling up. You know how you get to court early and shit, because you know everybody who was going inside the court, getting the information and, you know, reporting live from the courthouse and stuff. You got to be there really, really early. But I would have pulled up. I would have pulled up playing this shit. Y'all know I'm ignorant.
I'm still in the streets, nigga. Yeah. My motherfucking 3, nigga. Like 2 o'clock, I got a call that my dog died, but I'm going. Decline the call, cause I've been plotting all morning how I'ma smoke. For real. Caught them lacking at the club, I'm in motion. Guess what I'm toting? Every op I got, they know to be active, cause I ain't going. Yeah. All this traffic did them dirty, shots fired, my window open. I watched that nigga spin around, kept on rolling, I'm on some motion. He barely made it, I'm like, fuck it, I'm posted up, I'm getting close. Call his partners and put them up, hocus pocus, cause it ain't over. Yeah. Back to back, we hit them up, they know what my intentions is. On the streets, bitch, I'm a judge. My ops gon' get this life sentence deep. Check the Skoda cemetery full, I done put all of them bitches in. 3 bodies in the same month, that the other body was on accident. I know they tired of dressing up in them suits, but bitch, I'm...
That's that shit right there, man. Y'all only a 3, period. But that's that fire right there. But yes, I would have pulled up on some real, like on some... I ain't gonna even lie, I wouldn't even put on my best attitude or none of that shit, because I would have been ready for this shit, especially with like Jake Lane. He is another one. And his dumb ass act like he don't know the difference between free speech and what's considered hate speech and inciting violence. You cannot incite violence against people. You can't do that, Jake Lane. And I'm sure he, you know what I mean? He really like, oh God, I'll take it all back. I would take it all back. Yeah, because you got yourself in a dumbass position. Very foolish people that we talking about and the tactics that they using. But let's continue, because we already heard from an expert witness, from Nathan Daly, who explained why there are problems with the way that trial proceeded. We're not finna sit here and act like it was a normal type of trial. That was not a normal murder trial. It wasn't. It was not. It was not.
I mean, I wasn't working. We were working behind the scenes because we knew that this was a setup from the beginning. We knew that they was going to find him guilty. We didn't know that it was going to be 35 years though, but we knew that it was going to be something that was going to be egregious. And that's why I want to give a shout out to Charleston White. I want to give a shout out to Brother Cornell X, because all...
No, we're gonna sweep Charleston White under the rug, because he canceled. He canceled the shit he been doing. And I've been hearing different stuff where people been like, oh well, you know, he's still working with the Carmelo Anthony family behind the scene. I don't believe that. And anybody that believe that, go put a helmet on. Go put a helmet on right now. Because listen, you can't pay me to believe that. I don't believe it. But let's continue with this is Dr. Candace Matthews. If y'all do not know about her, she is a big activist. She works with Cornell X, and they travel around taking care of shit, like really getting shit done for us. Because like I said, ain't nobody gonna stand in the paint for us but us. Nobody. Don't expect for nobody to come and rescue you. Stop thinking like that. We looking at modern time. We in 2026, and this shit still happening like it's 1952. We in 2026. And this shit happening where motherfuckers are still being found hanging from trees like strange fruit. Motherfuckers are still being, still being lynched in the justice system. This was a legal lynching. Since they couldn't physically get him, which you can't, and this is why I always think about his safety in the place that he's in, because the the WS team didn't already let us know that they done put some money on his head. I've heard several people, come out and do videos, TikToks, saying, "Oh well, if whoever touches Carmelo Anthony, they'll have a nice lump sum on their commissary." What? Like, and these are grown ass men coming out saying this about this 19-year-old boy. Let's not forget that when the incident took place, he was 17. He was technically still a minor. If we want to be technical about it, come on, man.
Us got together so we can help this family to be able to get the proper legal team that's needed. And what we do, we're not going to push a legal team on you. We're going to give you the top of the notch, creme de la creme, and you pick who you want to fit for you. Yes. Okay? And that is exactly what we're doing right now at this time. Now, we know that they was running everything real quick with this case. Because I thought everything was going to be done today. I thought it was going to be done today. It was 2 days ago. And guess what? I couldn't be here for that day because guess what? Because as an activist, when you hold people accountable, they set traps for you. I had to be in court for a case they tried to set me up on that got dismissed on.
Now that tell you something. Because you got to be a powerful person for them to be setting traps for you the way it's disrupting how you are even able to advocate for other people. And it's done on purpose. This ain't no accident. None of this is by surprise, other than people's reactions to it. That's the surprise for some people. I honestly expected manslaughter. I did. I would have never thought M1. I would have never thought they would sentence this boy and charge him with murder 1. No, I wouldn't have. But let's get to it.
Okay? But guess who here today? Yep. Dr. Matthews. Okay? So, when you're dealing with a case of this magnitude, you have to have an experienced activist. You have to have an experienced legal team. And that's exactly what we saw, okay? And I'm not trying to step on nobody's toes. It is what it is. Now we are at this point where I seen a DA, I seen a judge, I seen the Metcalf family, I seen my people, and the whole United States seen what happened here. So now where we are is what the next steps. Because see, I'm not going to do no press conference with no rah-rah. I don't have time for that. Now it's about action and plans of action. What I seen was that this young man, I've worked on several cases, criminal cases. I have never seen no inmate that's in a county jail going to TDC the very next day.
Hello?
30, 6.
Bro, and I'm in Florida. And I got people in the system. That doesn't happen. Okay? But they say that the only way that his transfer would have been expedited would have been at the hands of, if I'm not mistaken, the governor, which is Greg Abbott. But we gonna proceed. Dr. Matthews cooking. She always be cooking though. I'm talking about she be cooking motherfuckers up.
90 days before you are able to get on their chain to go to TDC. They hurry up and got this baby out of here. Then another thing that we also seen, that's why I'm bringing this information to you. What we also seen was that they already gave him a public defendant for the appeal. So this is why this is very evident and this is important why I had to come here, so you don't get no misinformation. So now what's happening is that we have to ensure that there is the right, correct legal team to help in this process, because we can't have no more ball dropping, y'all. We cannot. Because we have a young man like that's at stake at this time. Now, I'm not going to get into retrying this case because that happened then. We are here now. We are here dealing with the appeals process. This is what we own, and the time clock starts now. The fight starts now. The fight starts now, people. This is not something that we just have to be, no. This is serious. This is serious. And then I want to also say to the very people that would say, well, Dr. Matthews, she not here. No, baby, you don't know what the hell I was doing. Because at the end of the day, I'm here now. The big dog is here now. And people gonna be held accountable in these streets. And one thing that
Sorry.
I want to lay out, because I know y'all didn't know nothing about this. Since what I was told by some of the court watchers, they would bring information to me and tell me how the DA was talking in that hearing. Would tell me how the judge was moving in that hearing, right? Well, baby, I got some tea on them in the bag of evidence. Baby, this is a hammer bag of evidence. So, hold this for me, brother.
Now she finna go in. Now she finna start talking about it.
I came out here since you over here want to call this for a murder, then we're gonna take the covers off you. Ain't no way in hell that you need to be a damn DA with this foolishness. Did you know? Hold this, please. I got you. That there is a 75-page federal lawsuit for sexual harassment of the DA that was saying that Carmela Anthony is a murderer. Well, you need to be a registered sex offender, sucker.
He needs to be arrested. And this is how you know Dr. Candace Matthews struck a nerve, because this district attorney held a press conference with his entire office of look like female staffers only. I ain't see too. I maybe seen a sprinkle of men here and there, but it seems like if he's a part of the hiring process of getting people in the door, he predominantly hires women, from what I could see, and it's probably because he wants to sexually harass them. Now, y'all just let me know how the audio sound when I start to play it again, because I can't hear what y'all hearing. So I don't know if it's clear or if it's sound distant, because I don't see where my speaker at on this laptop. I have no idea where it's at. So I'm just trying to figure this shit out. I'm still looking for it.
Read. Let me read. The pot called him kettle black guy, but you the whole DA out here. Oh, so you thought y'all was the only one that can go in PACES. And let me explain to you what PACES is. PACES is the database for federal lawsuits. See, we had a research tape back then. That's colder than the media. So let me go ahead and read a little bit of it, show you how disgusting this joke is. It's serious. After Jane Doe 1 refused defendant Willis, ain't that his name, Greg Willis? Oh, okay. Advances at the Galveston TDCAA conference, he treated her quite differently in the workplace. He began demeaning and berating her. In one closed-door meeting, he told her, "You think like a child, and I would treat you like a child." Defendant Willis likely appreciated the gender slurring that is implicit in a male supervisor telling a female employee that she thinks like a child. Oh, wait a minute, it gets better. Hold on.
Babe, can I say something without you?
Wait a minute, it gets better. Hold on. They hit me with a commercial. Because that's what they do when shit getting good and spicy. They gonna throw a commercial in there. As soon as you getting in tune with it, they put a commercial in there.
More than once, she tried to break free, but he held her tighter. These physical encounters were unwanted and sexual in nature.
Now, this is talking about the DA, Greg Willis, approaching his female staffers and hugging them. Now, I don't know how many of y'all work in corporate or just in general, just work for somebody else and you have someone that you answer to. How comfortable is it for you to hug your boss and squeeze them tightly? Like, I think even the men would be a little, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. Y'all be freaky and shit. Y'all be liking that freaky shit. But I ain't trying to get off with my boss at work. That's a no for me.
Jane Doe 1 eventually put in for a position in the Victim Assistance Division and got it in December 2020. This role put her under the supervision of Chief Prickle. However, the unwanted touches and full frontal hugs with moaning continued. The most recent
full frontal hugs with moaning. That means body to body, body to body. That sounds very uncomfortable. That sounds like a very uncomfortable situation. That is, and as women, you know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to pull the female male cards or nothing, but as women, like, I don't think some men understand. Sometimes some of those gestures are just unwanted, just completely unwanted, especially at work. That's a no-no. You don't piss where you sleep.
Of the sexualized hugs back in April 2022. We got a damn freak for the DA. But you want to talk about Carmelo Anthony. No, we're going to talk about you. Because if you want to sit up here and go do this rocket docket
Okay, side hugs, right? That's appropriate. You know, it's shoulder to shoulder, if that, or just one person leaning while the other one is standing up straight. But you never going in like chest to chest. You know what I'm saying? Like chest to chest is crazy. Chest to chest hugs at work with my boss is weird. I'm not doing that shit. Y'all know I be moody as fuck. I might not even be in the mood to be around you, let alone hug you, and I got to. And he initiated these contacts with her constantly. It wasn't just one time where they had a frontal hug, but maybe, you know, their bodies were, you know how you can hug somebody like that church hug where both of your bodies standing outward. So really nothing touching but just your arms wrapping around them. But to wrap your arms around someone and squeeze them tightly, you have to be yeah, that's got to be a frontal hug. I don't and then like I said, a hug from the back like that would be just as weird, right? That would be just as weird. So it's like that's weird. Yeah, a side hug is appropriate. A full-on front hug with moaning. So when we ain't even adding the moaning and grinding that was possibly happening also. Just saying. She said, I remember when my manager was first interviewing as a regular employee. We came a long way. Yep. But y'all wasn't doing no frontal hugs. Aaron said that to say they was not doing frontal hugs, okay? That's not normal. Like, we can't even normalize that. Like, what would a member of HR think? And that's how you know in a corporate setting if you're doing something right or not. If you got a question, well, what would happen if HR were to see us doing this? I think both parties frontal hugs, but we know the DA's office don't have a human resources. I think they should. I suspect that they should have some sort of human resources staff involved because you're hiring outside people to work for the company, even though they're working for the state or, you know, still. But yeah, let's continue talking about this freaky ass DA. Freaky ass
See,
DA.
this is what they don't tell you. That's why you got to research your people, who you're voting for. And I'm going to say this to the Republican Party. Republican Party, y'all need to write somebody else in. Because this man here is a sexual deviant. And he has no place being a DA here in Collin County. And if you want to see this lawsuit, you can go to my Houston Stringer page or Nights on TV. We're going to drop the whole 75 pages so you can read it for yourself. And there's some sick puppy foolishness in here. But he's DA though. Oh, okay. Let me see. Yeah. But then we took it a step further. Hold it for me. We took it a step further because anytime we pull court documents, my legal team will put it in an audit, and it'll give a psychological background of the defendant. Y'all want to hear it? Yeah. I can't hear you. You want to hear it? Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah. So we have predatory behavior patterns of District Attorney Greg Willis. The complaint outlines an administrative pattern where D.A. Willis routinely leveraged his immense legal and professional power, including his authority to refer individuals for indictment and control criminal investigations, to isolate and exploit female employees. Oh, he enforces strict closed-door policies using forested glass office doors to maintain total occupancy. Across multiple independent plaintiff accounts, Willis repeatedly utilized identical operational pretexts to force unwanted physical contact. He frequently claimed he needed help with an electronic document to draw female staff behind his desk, subsequently tapping them in chairs, massaging their shoulders, stroking their limbs, and forcing full frontal body hugs while rubbing their lower backs, audibly moaning.
Bruh, that is diabolical. Like, it's bad enough I got to come help your stupid ass. Even though you really don't need help, you just want to get a bitch behind your desk so you can slap a bitch on the ass or pinch my booty. That's wild. Moaning? Bro. Ew. And this is the man that prosecuted Carmelo Anthony. Keep in mind, guys, he is friends. He's a friend of the Metcalfs. And Jeff Metcalf is directly a friend with Judge Roach. We got to pay attention to what's going on here. That's why I say they railroaded him. They knew what they were doing when they got it through into Collin County. It was Judge Roach's job to get them what they were looking for and seeking, which was they wanted to ruin Carmelo's life straight out. I feel like that was the intent behind everything that they did, was to ruin this child. And they did to their best of their abilities. They turned this child's senior year into a fucking nightmare. It turned into a fucking nightmare. And the saddest part about it is, it's so many of our people, our own people that look like me and you, around here dismissing the fact that Austin and Hunter, from Hunter's own accounts, they sound like bullies. They sound like bullies. And it sounds like Carmelo ain't want no smoke. So why you trying to smoke it out with somebody who don't want to smoke with you? Just saying. Something to think about. That's all.
He explicitly framed his actions as personal compulsions, stating, telling staff, sometimes I can't help myself. When he near to them and blaming their appearance for the lack of professional control. That's the DA we got in here. That's the DA who did this to Carmel Anthony. So y'all know that, huh? Oh, y'all didn't? Okay. And then, so let me tell you about, let me get another one.
Get on Roach.
It's more stuff. It's more stuff.
Gotta get on Roach now.
Now, I want to give credit to North Carolina The Beat, which is another, black journalist that we all work together. All us people, activist journalists, we work together. And I thank him for giving us this information, and we confirmed all of it. However, Judge Roach, now I'm on your avenue. Okay? Did y'all know that there's a third-party website? Because y'all know I deal with judicial accountability, right? Y'all know I bring them judges and I slang them when they dirty, right? So there's a third party that I want you all to be able to go to. And I'm going to make sure that we put it in the article so you can use that as a resource. Because whatever court you go to in the United States that deal with family and children, you need to know who's on this list. And this is a list of child abuse judges.
Did y'all hear that? These are the Epstein files coming out regardless. We're going to find out who actually like underage ones. Let's say Groku, because Groku was a baby. If y'all watch The Mandalorian, Groku, y'all know I'm a geek. But they around here loving on Grokus and shit. Bruh, this is so wild because it is people that are seated in the highest offices possible, bro. Do you know that they could, just by him having that bias when it comes to young ones, we'll say, Grokus, he could be getting cases of pedophiles that he allowing to just slide through. How do we know he ain't had some pedophiles slide through his court and he gave them what we would consider unfair judgment based on the crime? But bias plays a big part of why certain convictions get upheld and why some don't. We just always got to be mindful of that. But let's hear this.
This is child abuse judges, and this comes from the childabusejudges.com. Yeah. See, you don't know until you know, right? Okay. So as of 12/22/2025, 1,400 plus judges have been accused of child abuse. Many judges 2 to 6 times. So let's see what state we got. Texas up there, because this is all of them. But I'm just going to show y'all Texas. Let's see who name on here. Receipts.
Oh yeah, she talking that shit now.
Oh yeah, here you go. My Versace glasses kind of got in the way. But Judge John Roach Jr. is on that list. And this is the same judge that convicted Carmelo. So you know what they say. Don't throw rocks living in a what?
Glass house.
So you need to know who is governing you guys. Because if you don't, how do you know how to move? That's why elections is important. You need to know who you're voting for. Y'all over here putting sex offenders in here, child abuse judges in here, and you wonder why you can't move 2 steps forward and you gotta take 2 steps back, and then they turn around and take kids from you, then they turn around and have your ass going to TDCJ for over 30 years. But that's what you got in this county here. So what I want to leave to the people of Collin County is this: DFW surrounding areas. We gotta mobilize. We gotta mobilize. We gotta stop fighting each other, and we gotta start fighting fire with fire. We have to let these people know that we would not tolerate this egregious activity that they're doing to our people. We would not tolerate it. So I did not come out here to rah-rah. I came out here to tell truth to power. Thank you. So you know who you dealing with in here. See, while you going and get in that Jordan line, you better get in that voting line. That's right. That's right. When you over there on that stripper pole, you better get to that voting pole. That's right. Because at the end of the day, who they affect locally is y'all. So do I got any questions for the meeting? Because I got time today.
She had time that day, baby. Okay. So now we finna jump over to something else. I just want y'all to hear this. But, you know, and I think I said this the other day, you know shit serious, baby. When the clear people start going against their own, when the YT people start speaking out against other YT people and their ideologies and the racism, because this is definitely surrounding race. And it's not because, quote unquote, black people interjected race in the case. No, it was from day one. But the whole point of the dad was to jump online, and he had to do that interview because he had to emphasize that it's not about race. But it is. Because otherwise, if the shoe was on the other foot and we were, and I've had so many people say, oh, if this was the other way around, Austin Metcalf would have been doing life in prison. Since when do they lock y'all up for unaliving us? Like, get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here. What land are you living in? What universe are you living in? That don't happen. And if it do, it's like a 1 in a million fucking chance, I'll say. Yeah. Yeah.
Also, how ignorant do you have to be to really believe?
Hold on.
I mean, has overcome every
This-
single atrocity. They have tried to bury us 1,000, 1,000,000 times. Still we rise. How could you fix your raggedy little pissy brain to think, to treat us like a monolith, like there's not millions of black success stories. Millions, not a few. You can't fool me with the point that the biggest guy that's doing it right now, whoever the most talented black person is, just pointing to the entertainers, astrologists, physicists, scientists, doctors, lawyers, archaeologists, some of the greatest orators ever, inventors ever. To try to be dismissive of that, it lets me know who you really are. This man's
No, stop being the victim. Take accountability. Rap music. It's the culture. No, it's the victim mentality. Racism was so long ago.
He's speaking the truth.
Let's listen
It's
to
the
him.
parents. It's the fatherless homes. It's the rap music. It's the culture. No, it's the victim mentality. Racism was so long ago. Stop being the victim. Take accountability. Pull yourself up by the bootstraps. I don't care if you're black, brown, purple, green, or yellow. I judge a man by the content of his character, not the color of his skin. And every time I hear these same tired talking points, I know exactly who I'm dealing with. I know who they voted for. But most importantly, I know exactly where they stand, what side of history that they are on. These are the same people who defend the Daniel Pennies of the world, who choked out Jordan Neely on a subway for acting quote-unquote erratically, a man with mental health issues and homelessness, never physically touched a single person, yet you defended the death of him, the lethal force. These are the same people who just a couple weeks ago defended Rick Chow, a store owner who chased a 14-year-old kid out of a store and shot him in the back, lethally, a fatal shot to the back, because he thought that he stole a $1 bottle of water.
Remember, fam.
And here we go with what happened in Mississippi the other day. Rest in peace, Coven. That sweet little boy, that sweet baby, was unalive by the police. So here I stand to ask y'all who any of y'all who have that viewpoint that we get treated fairly in this country. We get treated the worst around the world. What are we talking about here? There are very few places we can go and just be ourselves. We get police for doing everything. And that's why I think that they were so hell-bent on making sure they struck those 3 black jurors, because regardless, and you have maybe, I say 1 out of maybe 50 people, black people, we saying, that will say that they have never experienced racism. They've never been stereotyped. They've never been called aggressive when they were talking calmly. Y'all know I got stories. I got stories, but just working in the department that I work in and dealing with the type of people that I deal with. I have stories, horror stories. I've been called aggressive over the phone, and I got the most calmest, serene voice. When I'm at work, I don't speak, I don't talk, I don't use my home voice. Let me say that. I don't use my home voice when I'm working. Black women especially, we get called aggressive for it. It be our own men doing the shit too. Y'all too masculine. You so masculine. You're so masculine. We like, this white boy is speaking truth to power for real now. Because he gets it. He sees it. And if he see it, you can't tell me the rest of y'all do not see it. There ain't no way. There's no way. I want y'all to hear this shit. I was on a TikTok panel the other day, and a prime example of our black men just feeling the need to attack us. This man got upset with me because he asked me if I was the judge in Carmelo's case, what would have been my judgment that I handed down? I would have found Carmelo not guilty. He said, well, that's not a part of, basically, that's not a part of the answer. You either have to find him guilty of murder or a lesser charge. I said, okay. And I would have manslaughter, because they want to bring up the point, well, someone still lost their lives. I can tell you about stories where, I think this was in Memphis, maybe a year or two ago. I can't even remember the guy's name, but I'm finna look it up. That dude ran over that baby on the 4-wheeler and left the scene. Then went back to get his light or something that fell off his car. But he ran over that baby and unalived that baby with a vehicle. Y'all think that man was charged? Hell no. We already know the answer to that. We already know the answer to that. This country, this justice system is telling us that it is okay for people to unalive us. We not okay with this shit. The stepmama was a racist. The stepmama was, and that's a lot of, and I see that in a lot of households where they will have children, but their children don't have their same viewpoints. Like, your kids grow up and develop their own personalities, no matter what. But racism is a taught behavior. But let me let y'all hear this real quick, and then we're going to get back over to the white boy. But I want y'all to hear this shit. This on TikTok.
One second, Tony. One second.
This the Uncle Tom.
I want to get everybody's opening statement.
The coon.
Holly, what is that? Hollywood?
Hollywood, that's me.
Yeah, okay, go ahead, sir.
Yes, sir. I'm gonna agree with Infinite up top. I would have gave him MS with probably about 15 years.
Now this motherfucker live in Hollywood, Florida, talking about he would have hit him with MS, but this is how Florida work anyway. You're not getting, usually you getting between 7 to 10 for manslaughter here. I believe the max is like 15 years. But y'all just listen to this shit. Listen to this shit, man.
Maybe possible to parole at probably about 7. Just for the simple fact you did take a life. And
just for the simple fact that you did take a life. You took a life. So why wasn't Daniel Penny charged with manslaughter and given 10 to 15 years with possibility of parole in 7? Because he took a life. He took a life that, and he in that situation was completely unprovoked. That man didn't touch or make contact with any of them on the train. None of them. And they all sat there, and what drove me crazy was they sat there and freaking watched. And y'all want us to believe that y'all care. No way. No way I could be sitting on a train. We ain't got no trains here, so it'd have to be bus. But there ain't no way I'm sitting on a train, plane, bus, whatever, a moving object with other people. And this dude is, you know, because I live in Florida, we got a large homeless population, to the point to where you will get a ticket and go to jail if they catch you feeding the homeless. Like if you just one day say, I'm gonna make some dinners, bust out your table, get your hand sanitizer and your little phone plates, and listen, you will go to jail doing that. We are not allowed to feed the homeless, and they're not allowed to lauder or solicit homes or businesses, which puts the homeless population at risk of starvation, because soup kitchens, it ain't enough soup kitchens around Jacksonville to feed all the homeless people. I'm gonna be honest. Just like there is not enough room and capacity for them to allow them to sleep there every night, all of the homeless population. And it's when I can take y'all downtown, right? I could take y'all down to, I can hop in my car right now and ride downtown and turn my camera on and just walk through. And I might do that one day just to show y'all we have such a huge homeless population, and you can run into anybody. I'm talking about, you can run into former attorneys, former DAs, like all kinds of just different job experiences. So don't ever think that, oh, that could never be me, because it could be you one day. Don't ever think, oh, I could never be like that. That's why I don't mind giving to the needy. I enjoy giving to people who need it, because they appreciate it. They appreciate it. Every now and then you're going to have one that don't, like, they got to sign up, say they hungry, right? And then I give them some food and they got their face turned all crazy, because they really ain't want no food. They probably wanted a couple dollars to go get a bill or something. But if they choose to get a beer over feeding themselves, that at that point, that's on you. But I said all that to say that homeless man that was on that train was in a very disparaging situation in his life, and he had mental health issues, and they did not look at Daniel Penny as an offender. They praised him. They still praise him. And he took a life, but because he took the life of someone who any other community would consider disposable. And that's what it's giving, disposable. It's giving that y'all feel like we are disposable because you treat us like that. You treat us like we disposable. So of course, when something like this happens, our antennas shoot up, because we know that the shit wasn't right. We know it wasn't right. We know it wasn't right. But listen to this coon.
Are very racial. His statements are very racial, and it shows who he is. And I know people say, oh, he's grieving over his son. And I dealt with grieving parents over a child being unalived, and they didn't act in that way of such a form or fashion. So, I mean, I don't really find what he did was okay. I never did.
Okay. And, okay, Jeff, you said Jeff Metcalf, he's a racist because of his statements?
That's a rhetorical question, because he just answered that. But this is the games that they play. They like to play these fucking mind games and shit. He heard this guy's answer about Jeff Metcalf, but yet you still want to go backwards and just ask the same question that I've already answered. But let's proceed.
Hollywood?
What you say, boss man?
I'm asking about Jeff Metcalf's statements. What do you think that makes him a racist?
I really feel like he has it in his heart, man. I mean, he did, and I'm gonna clear this on facts.
And what I ain't gonna keep stopping it, because I want us to get through this, because this is just one of the many examples I have of how these people just talking recklessly and just saying anything. for one, as a grown ass man, why are you calling another man boss man? First of all, I don't give a fuck where you at, but why are you calling him boss man? That's you right now. You holding his dick. That's what it's giving. Dick pulling. But listen to this shit now. Listen to him. He didn't want to say it. You can tell he's hesitant. He nigga, is you eating? Nigga, is you chewing on something? Get it out. Spit it out. He did not want to make the statement again. He did not want to openly say with his whole heart and his whole chest that from what he gathered with Jeff Metcalf's entire life, not just a few statements that people are expanding on, but everything, the entire interview, he was attacking black people as a whole, bruh. And if you feel differently, please tell me why you feel differently. Please explain to me why you feel differently.
He did just send a BLK person to college, but that doesn't define if you're racist or not.
So let me explain that. What he's talking about is they did a scholarship fund in Austin's name to send, a kid to college, right? He chose a black kid. That don't mean shit. I hate when people try to use proximity. You cannot use proximity in a relationship or something that you've done to prove that you are not biased or racist. Get the fuck out of here. This is why I'm telling y'all, this is why his name is Mr. Denial, piece of shit. He don't like women either, black women. He do not like us. So if y'all do watch him from the clouds. Don't engage in his chat. He do not like black women at all.
Yeah, I mean, slave owners had sex with black women. That doesn't mean that they're not racist. I mean, what are we talking about?
This dumb fuck said slave owners, and this is Mr. Denial. That's who just made this dumbass statement. He said slave owners have sex. First of all, slave owners raped black women. Them women wasn't willing. These women, a lot of those women were married. They may have not been seen in the eyes of the law as being able to be married to each other, but they committed themselves to somebody, to another person. And the slave master would grape them. But this shows you his mindset. This is Mr. Denial's mindset.
All right. Okay.
Sure. I feel you.
All right. Blessings. Oh, she's on teacup. Okay. Let's skip over. Blessings.
Yeah, I was looking for anything about him sending a black child to college.
Yeah, I was looking for that too.
I don't see anything. Their ass.
I mean, they opened it up. He opened up literally a scholarship under Austin names and gave it to a BLK kid.
I mean, okay.
And he's talking about a BLK kid. Why can't you say black? Why can't you say? I'm just not catching that shit too. Why you can't just say black? What's wrong with that? Shit pisses me off.
Blessings. We'll try to find out that information if that's accurate or not. Blessings. Go ahead.
My thoughts on his racist rant was, I told you so. My first thought was he's a racist. I think that when I first heard the story, I felt a racial undertone. I think that a lot of people did. And then when people said, hey, this was racist, we were told, you guys make everything about race. Everybody's racist. And we were gaslit. And then he comes out and says, I've been wanting to say this, but I was on a gag order.
He's been wanting to say this, but he was on a gag. They were on a gag order. So he couldn't talk about it no more. Keep in mind, they had already done 3 interviews between the mom, Hunter, and the dad. They had already done 3 or 4 interviews. I want to say 3. I want to say it was 3 interviews before the trial and everything proceeded. But we saw that one press conference from the Anthonys, and we saw Carmelo get out on bail and be walked out by Dominique Alexander. But we never really actually seen any interviews on CNN, CBS, NBC, ABC, DFG, HIJK, Elemental P. We never seen the Anthonys go to the press, the media, the mainstream media, and give their side of events, because mind you, they put a gag order on this case as soon as Roach got his ass and his dirty little hands on it. As soon as Roach got his hands on this case, they gag ordered it because they did not want all of the media, because if you include if media is allowed in the courtrooms, like they allowed so many black journalists, so many journalists period in Diddy trial. And Diddy had some pretty serious charges and nasty. They were pretty nasty too. And he finna have more. And I'm not gonna say allegedly, because I know y'all been seeing what I've been seeing. We got to talk about that too, baby, because baby is baby like them under. You hear me? And I'm talking about age. We talking about R. Kelly Young. R. Kelly Tape Young. And if y'all remember that case, R. Kelly with Sparkle niece. Her niece was 14. Okay? So when Roach got his hands on this case, he put a gag order on it. So therefore, nobody else could talk about the case until it had been disposed of. That is the rule. You can be held in contempt and fined if you violate a gag order. So,
and calls us baby mamas and says that we're on welfare, and he tells a lie about slavery. These are not new thoughts, because if they were new and he recently researched, he would have seen that everything he was saying was a lie. He would have seen that we were not the ones on welfare. He would have seen that that's not how slavery went. And he said, basically, we need to thank them for freeing us and everything else. What it honestly showed me was this is the type of person he is, and I could only imagine the type of environment that he raised his children in, and that's the reason why his son felt as though he could police a black body.
Period. The entitlement that comes with, I mean, for one, it's expensive to be racist. It is. It costs you so much. A lot of the times, the people who are engaging in it don't even realize what they're about to lose, because you're biased. We all have our biases and we all have our prejudices. But I wholeheartedly, from just my experience and learning, YT people benefit from racism. They benefit from the race of saying that they are white. That's why we have immigrants that will come over here, and on the census and other documents, they will start identifying as white. That's not made up. That's proven. Pull the statistics. You'll see the minority groups that I'm talking about that do this, the immigration population that does this, that comes over here, and they always want to be in a close proximity to white because they uphold white supremacy.
And landing, he called us all baby mothers, but he's the one who was not living with his children. Like, he was the one not in his children's life full time. So yeah, if I didn't feel bad for him before, I damn sure don't feel bad now.
Wow. Okay, interesting. Well, listen, if you're a divorced mother, you're not a baby mother, you're a divorced mother. I think there is a difference between the two. Tony, go ahead.
Thank you. I agree with most of the panel. I understand,
Now, Tony is a white woman, so y'all hear this lady out. Hear her out.
We have situations that we agree with, and we have situations that we don't agree with. My husband was unalived in Afghanistan. I understand that. However, there is the issue in this United States of America that we know is happening right now. We know and understand, Mr. Denali, we understand that race is a factor. We know that if this guy, if a white kid had the knife, it would have been a whole different scenario. So my thought is always going to be overkill. It's insane to me that you want to convict a kid 35 years. That's all.
What would you have convicted him of?
Maybe manslaughter.
Maybe. Okay, I need you to be definitive.
Manslaughter at the most.
And how many years would you have given him for taking someone's life?
Maybe 10 years.
See, you see how he started speaking to her because he didn't like her answer. Again, when your answer, and this is a conservative black man that we talking about on TikTok, foolishness, child. But we gonna call out the obvious. We're not gonna sit here and pretend like it's not the elephant in the room. It is definitely the elephant in the room. It's the elephant in every damn room. We see this time and time again where it's deniable plausibility. They will keep denying, deny. It's not going on. It's in your head. You're making it up. That's not happening that way because, and truth be told, not making any excuses, but we all definitely have our own perspective, right? We all have our own perspective on why we think what we think, why we feel what we feel, and our own personal experiences, because you are experiencing your experience. Can't nobody experience life for you. Nobody else will know what it's like for you to experience life. So yes, when things happen energetically, you can feel it. You can feel when someone doesn't like you. We're not, even if you're on the phone with them, even if you're FaceTiming them, even if you're standing in the same room with them or you're not, you can feel that energy. You can feel the energy. So you know if there is a connection or if it's not. And from the get-go, a lot of people seen what was happening with the Carmelo Anthony case. And we're going to get to the witnesses that saw the video. How is so many of these people coming out and saying the same things? I want to hurry up and get through this. And then I want to actually pull up some of the witnesses who actually went to Texas ISD, was allowed to view the footage, signed NDAs, and then they come back and they started discussing what they saw. Damn, it's 9 o'clock. I didn't even know it was 9 o'clock. Chad.
Maybe less for good behavior. I don't think he meant any harm. I think that we raise our kids to say, this is my thought. Hold on, give me a moment. Nobody respond. I raise my kids. If you put hands on me, I'm going to put hands on you.
Period.
That's it.
The fuck.
Do you think that people should be punished for their mistakes?
I think that we have a condition. I say that, I'm saying it loosely, that we don't know what the fuck we're doing. I think that Mr. Anthony, such a scholar, and the person that he unalived, they had potential. I get it. I understand it. But at some point, we need to stop and say, hey, as parents, Mr. Denali, and say, hey, where did we go wrong?
Okay.
What happened?
Well, Tony, if I get out in my car and drive down the street, and instead of hitting the brake, I hit the gas and kill somebody, should I be punished?
This is not the same scenario. So, and we gonna leave him there. I'll let y'all hear the rest of that shit on another day, because he's just an idiot. Like, how can you use a car accident versus someone saying that they are using self-defense because they were attacked? Like, I hate when people do and say stupid and it's the manipulation for me. It's the manipulation for me. But I saw somewhere where, some people, and they have a valid point. They said, Carmelo got 35 years. And some of these people are still fucking mad about it. I've heard some people say he should get the death penalty. And I'm like, what? A 17-year-old? But that just, bro, if y'all, my people, if you haven't read or listened to Dr. Cress Welsing, go look her up. Listen to all of her material, all of her speeches, all of her teachings, read her books. She discusses how our children are aged up in society by the patriarchal white supremacy system. This is not a hate live. This is only for educational purposes. But educate yourself on that shit, man. It is deep. You know, they don't look at our kids as children. Once they get beyond a certain age, they look at them as adults. And a lot of the times, one of the excuses that they use for charging these children as adults is because, oh, well, we had more and more children committing adult crimes, so we had to drop the age range. So now, like, I've seen 10-year-old kids, 11-year-old kids in custody. Where are you gonna put them if they, like, even in the juvenile system? That is dangerous, because most of those kids, for the most part, are older. But when they stopped allowing parents to discipline their children, this is when the problem started, and it became problematic for society, not just for that parent, not just for the teachers that have to deal with it, but the society as a whole. Austin was a bully. Hunter is a bully. There are female cheerleaders that talk about how they were bullied by them. We are not going to escape from that fact. So when his mama get on national TV, and that's why I was looking at her crazy yesterday, because I'm like, what? He was loving and kind, but he was willing to put an epileptic kid out in the rain by force, surrounded by concrete and steel bleachers. That is a dangerous situation. I don't know if y'all understand or hear me, but that is dangerous. There is no way that's okay. Like, what are we saying? What are we really saying? And it's not us that's saying this. It's the other side. It's the argument that they have for this reasoning. But the dude that I was on the TikTok live with said, why didn't Carmelo just get up and leave? And I said, what? He said, well, if they asked him to leave, why didn't he just get up and leave? And I said, why didn't he just get up and leave? Because he didn't have to. Because it's a free country. Because Hunter nor Austin nor Eddie, which, like I told y'all, I believe that Eddie set him up. Eddie called him over there or asked him to meet him at that tent because Carmelo was there before Eddie and them even walked up. See, I didn't realize till after the trial that Eddie was with Hunter and Austin. And I want to say the other boy named Luke, maybe. It's something. I might have just made that up. I don't know. It's something. But that told me everything I need to know. That was a lineup. He lined Carmelo up with his jealous ass. He probably wanted the boy girlfriend. Who knows? Who knows? We know how kids get down, how children get down. Children can be cruel. And I think a lot of the time, I ain't heard nobody say that. Children can be cruel. They really can be. Sometimes it's unknowingly, because we have to teach them how to treat people. You have to teach your children how to treat people, how to have compassion, how to be understanding of what somebody else might be going through. Anything could have happened with Carmelo that day, as far as something that he wasn't even bringing up that could have been sitting on his chest. We don't know what caused him to react in the manner that he reacted in, but based on the testimony of about 5 to 6 different people so far, he wasn't the provocateur. Hunter was the provocateur. Hunter provoked that situation. Austin stepped in to try to have Hunter back. And I really don't even think that the way that Hunter lined it up in the news interview was even how it happened based on the video. And I keep saying that, but I'm going to bring y'all some people right now, because I know we talked about it yesterday, but I ain't have my other phone, but I'm on the laptop now on the screen, y'all. But it just speaks volumes. He was set up. He was put in a situation where, listen, he didn't have no choice. Now look at this. Will somebody come and look at this? Somebody come and look at this. Now, remember I said yesterday, I told y'all about Miss Daisy, right? Y'all heard about Miss Daisy? Did y'all hear about you heard about Miss Daisy, Aaron? I remember I mentioned her name yesterday, but I wasn't for certain. But like I said, I was on another channel talking to, chopping it up with like minds about the situation. But if you're not sub to No Captivity, please with Freezy, go sub to him. He dope as fuck. And he in Florida. I fuck with Florida heavy. Anybody that's on that Florida shit, I'm rocking with them. You feel me? I'm rocking with them the long way.
I'm honored for this magnificent sister joining the show this evening.
This Miss Daisy.
Am I honored? For one, it's noble. And for two, it takes courage to speak out, especially if you were one of the ones that seen the video. Why does it take courage? Well, from my knowledge and from what several brothers and sisters have shared with me, there is a regime that's been assigned to dox, attack, discredit these individuals. And we have to understand and respect the fact that these brothers and sisters have a personal life. So anytime I communicate with them, I'm 100% understanding. But one thing we all share in common is they care so much that however we have to get the word out, they're going to join the show. Listen, Miss Daisy is her name. And we're going to bring her to the stage right now. Shout out Miss Daisy. How are you, Miss Daisy?
Hello. Doing good. How are you, Freezy?
I'm doing good. Can you guys hear her pretty good? Let me see. Make sure they can hear you pretty good. That's good. You're closer to the mic right there. So, Miss Daisy, I really appreciate you, Miss Daisy. We talked already via phone, but I just want to say on the show that we really appreciate you. And before we get started, is there anything initially that you want to say before we actually get into the meat and potatoes?
Nothing that's top of mind. I kind of will set the stage for everyone so they can kind of visualize what I was kind of seeing as I was there. And if you have questions, please stop me.
So, first and foremost, Miss Daisy, and thank y'all for the jewels, and I'm going to read the super caps in 1 second. What? Do you live in Texas? Could you let them know? Do you live in Texas, Miss Daisy?
I
do. So she lives in
Texas. You don't have to tell us exactly where you live, but do you live close to Frisco?
About a couple hours drive.
About a couple hours drive.
I'll give it that.
Okay.
It was a drive to get there. It wasn't minutes down the road.
Miss Daisy lives a couple hours down the road, and she was compelled to go to Frisco ISD to sign off to see that video. Now, Miss Daisy, how did you even hear that there was a video for you to even be motivated to go, see this video? How did you even hear about this video?
Good question. So I was already following the case since day one of April 2nd of 2025 on TikTok. Mm-hmm. And throughout that process, we were introduced to a couple of individuals, and one of the main individuals was Tiffany Billions. She had previously submitted a FOIA request, and she walked us all through the process of how to do that exact same thing.
Awesome. And shout out to Tiffany Billions. So subsequently after that, what was going through your mind? What were you saying to yourself as far as this whole incident and you seeing the video, you driving that far to see the video? What were you saying to yourself in your mind?
I mean, ultimately, I wanted to go to see, there was both sides of the fence, right? There was the opposing side and, there was the Carmelo Anthony side. So each side had mixed views on what they had seen. And for me, I think a lot of individuals, we want to see it with our own eyes. I felt like, I had
been given the tools to fill out the form, drive down there, and see it for myself. That way I could take it in. And then I had no intentions on coming on the internet with it until it hit my heart to also speak up on TikTok as well. So.
Wow. Yeah, and from my understanding, the Carmelo Anthony support group is very huge on TikTok. Is that correct?
That is correct, yes.
Yeah, listen, I just got introduced to it probably like a couple weeks ago, and I was like, wow, this is a whole nother world. You know? I mean, so many people talking about it on TikTok. Go ahead, Ms. Daisy.
Yeah, I was just saying it's a whole community.
Yeah, exactly. Shout out to everybody that's coming in. What's going on, Elite Belezo? Shout out to you. I appreciate y'all coming in. I see your conversations with MJ. I see your super cap. I'm going to read them shortly. Thank you. I appreciate y'all. BATL, thank you for being here. I appreciate y'all. And Brownie, I see you. So walk us through it, Miss Daisy. So you left your house, you took your drive, and you headed down to Frisco ISD. What was this procedure like? And I think it's important. I need y'all to listen up because several people have told their stories as far as going to see the video. And I want you guys to see if there's too many contradictions or contrasts or disparities. I want you guys to pay attention, right? To see if there's a lot of similarities in these stories. Because so far there's been so many similarities in what people, what these brothers and sisters have actually shared with us on this platform, right? There's going to be little nuances because everybody has their own point of view. But in my honest opinion, I think that at least 95% of each one's account has been pretty much the same. But I'm sorry, go ahead, Ms. Daisy. Walk us through when you actually arrived at Frisco ISD and what you had to actually go through to actually get to see this video.
Of course. So upon arrival at the Frisco ISD administration building was the location that I arrived at. There's a little like ring doorbell essentially outside. I had to show my driver's license, tell them why I was there. I went inside, presented my driver's license to the front desk lady, and she scanned my driver's license, printed me out a sticker badge, same photo as your identification. I put that on my chest and I waited for the assistant to come and get me. Once she came and got me, we went behind some double doors, and then I had turned right and stood outside of an elevator, waited for that elevator to get us. We went up to the 4th floor, walked down a hallway into an office room, which had a conference room attached to it. And so Freezy, inside of that conference room, you know, a normal conference room set up, a big desk with a bunch of chairs. There was one TV upon the wall, and the administrator had a piece of paper laid out with some pens, and that is where I had to sign saying I will not record audio or video of what I was about to see on the pre-recorded video on the wall.
Now they had her sign that, like I said yesterday, they had them sign, and I put a poll in the chat. Please participate. Do you think justice was served, or is this a cover-up? Y'all already know my answer. I believe it's a cover-up, but I don't want to, put my viewpoints on anybody else's. These are my viewpoints, and again, this is for entertainment. Well, this is not for entertainment. This is for educational and research purposes. However, okay, so she had to sign an NDA. They took her to a large conference room with a flat screen on the wall, and this is where they showed the video. But in that NDA clause, it states that she would not record any audio or video. So there's audio, right? There's audio, because they wouldn't say audio and video. I ain't heard nobody else point this out. And I haven't heard them, ask them if there's audio. And I can imagine if there is audio, it's going to be crappy because it was a good number of people out there, but video don't lie, right? So let's hear Miss Daisy. Again, she is one of the individuals that put in a request to Frisco ISD to get a copy. Well, I'm talking about get a copy, and y'all hear about that later, but they had the option to either go view the video footage in person, or they would send you a link and you could download or look at, I guess, go to, watch the video. Now, I ain't gonna even hold you. I would have selected the option, if available, just to test it out, to have it sent to me. And yes, I would have damn sure recorded it, especially if it contrasts the testimony that's been given about the way the events took place. But let's hear Ms. Daisy.
Warned, hey, don't go in with any kind of, keys or phone or anything like that. So I left everything in my car, all of my personal belongings, just to ensure that I didn't break any rules or wasn't, breaking code. So From there, she even asked, "Hey, do you have anything?" And I said, "No, ma'am, left everything in my car."
Was there anybody else in line to see the video when you went?
Great question. Not with me. I went up alone at this point in time. So I was in the round of first people who was able to go alone by themselves. So it was myself and the administrator from Frisco ISD.
If you're still using liquid foundation, here are 3 reasons.
And mind you, they had at one point there were people going in groups, because I want to say so far they verified that about 37 people have, you know, seen the actual footage, the 4K footage that they did not show in the courtroom during the trial. Go figure, right? Go figure, right? Like, it's disgusting. That's why I asked, do you think this is a cover-up? Do you think it's a cover-up? Yes or no? Answer the question. Do you think it's a cover-up? Do you think justice was served? Because I already didn't put my opinion out there. Ain't no way we can call this justice.
So from there, we walked up to the front of the room and she pointed at the television and she proceeded to instruct me. You can see the video 2 minutes prior to the incident or 11 minutes prior. She said everybody was watching it at the 2 minutes mark before.
So the option is 11-minute marker or 2 minute, right? She's being suggestive in her language. I don't even know if that's a word, but I just made it one. She's being suggestive in her language and suggesting to Miss Daisy that she should watch it at the 2 minute marker because everybody else has been watching it at the 2 minute marker. Now, the problem with that 2 minute marker is it doesn't actually show everything that happened up before the alleged jabbing. And I still will say alleged, even though they convicted him, I don't believe that he poked him. I don't.
But no, I would like to see as far back as I could. So remind everyone, the incident had happened around 9:54 Central Standard Time on April 2nd, 2025. So 11 minutes prior to that would be 9:43 Central Standard Time. So that is the time that I had chose to start the video. So I want to make sure that that's clear. I think a few people get confused there. So I started it there. She also proceeded to tell me, hey, this is the timestamp. The timestamp is going to be at the bottom right. There's also another kind of rolling timestamp as well, but that actual time is at the bottom right. In the top left of the corner, you could see the canopy, which was the memorial canopy. And I want to remind everybody, it was half cut off. So we were viewing from the home stadium off onto the away side. And so that half of the canopy was cut off. We couldn't see anything from that left. So we could only see half to the right of the field. So I was able to familiarize myself, remind you I had 11 minutes prior to the incident. And I knew from the interviews of what Hunter had did that they were coming from the middle school. So prior to entering, I also looked, before I even got there the day before, I looked at Google Maps, right? What does the stadium look like? Where is the middle school? Where is the athletic building? Just so I could kind of know where they would be coming from. So around 9:49 at that timestamp in the morning, I had looked to my far right of the corner and what I believed was the 4 boys walking in, going off of Hunter's, testament of myself, my brother, and a couple of friends were walking from the middle school. So I saw them walk in. They arrived up on the bleachers, and I want to remind everyone, the bleachers are, they're metal bleachers, and then as you walk up into it, it's a metal walking path. So they, in my opinion, as I like to always put it, they were walking with a purpose. They were not walking nonchalantly to go sit down at a track meet. Did you have a question, Freezy, or do you want me to continue?
So when you seen how many boys was it?
Yes, I identified 4 boys walking up into the group of the canopy. Okay,
and you said they weren't walking in a nonchalant manner. You said they were walking briskly. I played a video, a TikTok video.
Oh my God! Why didn't I discover this moving, cleaning marble sooner?
You said something. It was almost like predator versus prey. Was your direct quote, right?
I did, Freezy. So my exact quote was the walking with intent, as if it was almost predator versus prey. And the rest of my story will kind of attest to the reasons why and everything. And I want to remind everybody, it was raining. I could see raindrops. The video was crystal clear. I've always said it was 4K, if not 5K at best. So the video I had seen, imagine it's like an NFL football game, just it's on a smaller screen.
So let's put a pin in that right there. I have a video I'm going to play after you give your account and later on in my show, where there's a reporter that works for Court TV. I think his name is Cody, something, black guy. He actually said he's seen the video in court, and he said that you couldn't see any raindrops, and the people, you could barely make out the people. They were very blurry. He said you couldn't see any rain or anything. So he said if anybody said they seen raindrops or that, no, that's not true. You couldn't see any raindrops. You're telling us that you could. The video was that clear where you could see droplings and raindrops and all that kind of stuff. That's what you're telling this audience.
Yes. So when I started the video at the 11 minutes before, so at that 9:43 mark, it was a heavy drizzle, is like I like to put it. It wasn't like a downpour. It does get into a downpour later, but it was a constant drizzle. You could see people popping their umbrellas up, taking them down. I could see people in ponchos. I saw puddles on the track as well. So it was very visible that it was raining, and it wasn't, a bright sunny day either. And I also will say, when people say you can't see faces, no. When we all put in our request, we understood that the video needed to be redacted. And redacted means if it is a video, you cannot see the minors' faces. So they did not blur it out, but it is, far enough to where you cannot physically identify somebody. The only identifiers that we have is going off of who we know was involved in the incident. And, the video shows you kind of
right. So basically all of the other students under the tent, they kind of wanted to protect those students, right?
Yes, that is exactly correct.
Okay. Go ahead. You carry on, sis.
Okay. So
where we left off was the four boys was walking briskly as if it was predator versus prey towards. Go ahead.
Yes. So as they were walking up on the bleachers.
So you do you see it now, Aaron? Is it in there? Can y'all see the poll? It should be in there now. But let's proceed because she's gonna describe what she saw from that point. Again, it was probably about 8-9 minutes in at this point, because now is the action, the meat and potatoes. Okay, just a moment.
They walked up the steps and they did not sit down. It instantly went from a verbal to a physical altercation very quickly, and you could tell. The reason why I say did not sit down is because anybody can tell elevation. You can tell from, I'm watching them walk up, I'm seeing that they're standing, and if they were to sit, I can tell that head had moved down. I was not able to see anything from those four boys. They had surrounded him, and you could see arm movements, as if someone might have been pointing, like, hey, get out of here. You could also see, what I like to say is the jumping, the punching, pushing.
So they surrounded him. So like I said yesterday, like the fuck I said yesterday, they were in pursuit of a felony. They were assaulting Carmelo. Therefore, Hunter should have been charged with murder. Eddie, who was the video guy. He was supposed to be the guy that lured Carmelo in, and he was the guy that, was going to make sure Carmelo came and sat over there and waited for him. And he's like, oh yeah, bro, I'm leaving the field house now. We're headed to the bleachers. It was a setup. They surrounded him. And I feel like the only way Eddie would have got the footage was if he was one of those people surrounding Carmelo. But then he claims he was pretending like he was recording. But not once did he ever say, no, I told him he could come over here, bro. It was a setup. He didn't defend Carmelo not one time. It was a setup.
Grabbing, shoving, and in my could also be anything from those four boys. They had. Yes, that is exactly correct.
Okay. Go ahead. You carry on, sis.
Okay, so
where we left off was the four boys was walking briskly as if it was predator versus prey towards. Go ahead.
Yes. So as they were walking up on the bleachers, they walked up the steps and they did not sit down. It instantly went from a verbal to a physical altercation very quickly.
They walked up the steps, up the bleachers, went directly, like I said yesterday, y'all. My story hasn't changed. Went directly to Carmelo. Directly to him, and she's going to describe now what she saw, because keep in mind, this is an account, Mrs. Daisy, who saw the video. She saw the video, not just a 2-minute little clip of all the action and Carmelo slipping and running, because that's all that you really see. You don't see the jab. And the thing is, this is how I know Hunter is lying. he saw what happened. Either he did it allegedly, or the other person did. Somebody did it. Somebody did.
And you could tell. The reason why I say did not sit down is because anybody can tell elevation. You can tell from, I'm watching them walk up, I'm seeing that they're standing, and if they were to sit, I can tell that head had moved down. I was not able to see anything from those 4 boys. They had surrounded him, and you could see arm movements, as if someone might have been pointing, like, hey, get out of here. You could also see, what I like to say is the jumping, the punching, pushing, grabbing, shoving. And in my definition is a jumping could be where one person is touching you, multiple people are touching you, you're in a group surrounded by one person touching you. That is how I define it, because you could never know who's going to jump in at the same time. So from there, you could see Carmelo pop up and out of the tent.
Okay, repeat that because we just got a super chat. It was a sound effect. You said from that point, before you go there, I noticed you said they was punching the individual. He got. I noticed you used jumped. What did you mean by that?
So that's the terminology that I use. So, and I can repeat it for everybody, is jumping, and this is my definition, right? I could be completely incorrect, but whereas one individual is facing one person with other people surrounding them, so that one individual of a group could be touching them, or multiple people in that group could be touching that one said individual, right? So if it is one person touching him at the time, you don't know if those other individuals could potentially jump in, right? There's the key.
Right. And Daisy has a point, because she's stating that on the video she saw, they were surrounding Carmelo. They were surrounding him, right? So with that being said, they're all hovered over him to the point to where in the video you can barely see him. You only know him because of what he's wearing.
Jump. So
in the video that they showed in court, a couple of people told me, because they attended the actual trial inside the courtroom. They said the video that the courtroom showed them, it only showed one person walking up towards Carmelo, just one, not 4.
Did I buy my kids the fanciest toothbrush in the market? Yes, I did. But do I care about their teeth? Absolutely. I get them each the auto brush toothbrush, and they have asked to brush their teeth 3 times.
The video I saw had 4.
Be my guest.
The video she saw had 4 boys. 4. 4 boys now. Y'all do the poll, please. Hit the like button, share the live, and hype me up. Do that. Do that for me. Hold on, I'm looking at something. Can y'all hear me? Can y'all hear me? Oh, okay. Oh, I'm loud and clear. I'm actually loud. Okay, so Miss Daisy outlined for us that she saw multiple assailants on Carmelo. Keep in mind, y'all, he is only 130 pounds. Y'all, I weigh 132. And yeah, I'm not fighting nobody that's 6'2", 6'1", 6'2", 200, between 230 to 260 pounds. I'm not there with it. Not even in high school. And definitely not in high school. In high school, my senior year was when I started, putting a little weight on me because I was pregnant. But I was Before then, I was the 00. I wore 99 pounds for the longest. I was happy when I hit that bucko. My uncle say $105. You don't weigh nothing but a $105. I was proud of my 105 pounds, baby. But I can't imagine fighting somebody that's almost triple my weight. If we want to keep it a bean, if Austin was anywhere above 250, that's closer to 300. We're going to round up. We don't round down. We're going to round up. It's not a fair fight. And then we talking about 4 people. Like I said, it was a setup. Buddy set him up to get jumped. On my mama, he did. Buddy set him up to get jumped. So we're going to ask. I'm going to check something real quick. In the state of Texas, if I am assaulted by multiple people, can I use deadly force? Can I use deadly force? So it says, yes, you can use deadly force in Texas if you are assaulted by multiple people, provided you reasonably believe that deadly force is immediately necessary to protect yourself against any imminent threat of death or serious bodily injury. While a simple physical assault by a single unarmed person generally does not justify deadly force, Texas law treats group attacks differently under specific legal concepts. Okay? When you are outnumbered, and this is the disparity of force, okay? These are the legal terms that you would use in situations, which his defense attorney could have definitely launched to work to his, benefit. But it's crazy that we have people coming out that seen the video, watched the trial, and then found out he was just flat out railroaded. He was set up and railroaded. I don't know why they had it out for the jig. Disparity of force. When you are outnumbered, the law recognizes a concept called disparity of force. Even if your attackers are unarmed, a combined physical assault by multiple people drastically increases the likelihood of you suffering permanent disability, prolonged loss of bodily function, or death. This severe group advantage can elevate an otherwise non-deadly situation into a deadly threat, making the use of a weapon or deadly force legally reasonable. Disparity of force. The multiple assailant doctrine. Under the Texas multiple assailant doctrine, established through the Texas Court of Criminal Appeals, case law such as Jordan versus State, your actions are judged based on the danger posed by the entire group, not just one. So, just with the multiple assailants doctrine, Carmelo is covered based on this video. Do y'all understand this? Based on these individuals' testimony of what they attest to what they saw on that video. You see where I'm going at with it? I should have been cooking. I'm sorry. I've been slow. I had to put the crock pot on low for y'all. You know how I tried to hang a little bit. That's it. But I really, really, really have been close to this case because from jump, I felt like it was so many things off. But when we start talking about multiple assailants doctrine, oh, that's a game changer because there's several people who have come out and attest to the video they saw, and they say that, it looks like he was being attacked by multiple people. So why didn't his defense attorney bring this doctrine into the trial to have it challenge some of what the prosecution was putting forward? I don't know, y'all. I don't know. I could have went in there and practiced law better than that man did. He really didn't even try. And maybe that was a strategy of his. Some attorneys have strange strategies. I've never seen where they've tried to lose a case. They usually take pride in winning their cases. You know what I mean? So I can't imagine that one of the top attorneys in Frisco, Texas, in the Dallas DFW area, period, he won an award for this now, unless he really, girl, listen, Aaron, unless he really, they gave him an award and he really ain't out here winning cases like that and getting convictions and whatnot. But it's just, getting convictions overturned because he works for the defense. So he usually that motherfucker that'll get you out some shit. And he can charge higher by the hour because of his accolades. Yeah. I know a lot of y'all don't know that. That's why when you go to different attorneys, based on their years being on the bar, the associations that they have with certain people, is going to determine if you want to hire them as your attorney, because they have track records. Now, I can see why the Anthony family would choose him. He's one of the top attorneys in that area. But I also, from my understanding and research, he was kind of swayed towards them. Where I think that somebody who was in their camp I ain't gonna say made them, because they're adults. They can make their own decisions, but you gotta, and I've heard a lot of people saying this about Carmelo Anthony's dad, like he weak and he's too meek. And I mean, this is the thing. This man has one objection, bro. One objection. And the strongest part of the trial was probably his closing arguments. That I believe that was it. That was it. And he barely did that. So it's obvious he threw that trial. He threw that away. He threw Carmelo's life away like it meant nothing. Like he wasn't a good young man out here really trying to just take care of himself. Like, I would love, because see, I understand it from two different sides, but I would love to like send him some money and just talk to him, because I don't know if I know his parents, probably they don't know how to navigate this situation. I mean, I feel like anybody with kids and your children get in trouble and they try to hold you responsible for a decision that your child made, it's very scary, especially in the legal world. These people have never been in trouble. So how would they, and that's where people, kind of piss me off and not being considerate of that. These are not troubled people. They're not criminals. So of course they really didn't know what to do, and that's okay. But they should have had the community and the right people guiding them, instead of guiding them into a trap where their son is paying the price with his life. And I know a lot of people who just hate him because of what they think he did to Austin. The truth is gonna come out. It's coming out. An appeal is inevitable. And they gonna be the one out here burning stores and looting and shit like that, allegedly. But so we have disparity of force. That's when you're outnumbered, and the law recognizes the concept, and it's called disparity of force. So even if your attackers are unarmed, combined with the physical assault of multiple people, drastically increases the likelihood of you suffering from permanent disability, prolonged loss of bodily function, or death. So this serves the group's advantage and can elevate an otherwise non-deadly situation into a deadly threat, immediate deadly threat. So it doesn't matter if they all have weapons, one got a weapon, nobody has weapons, because it's multiple people. It increases the chances of you being unalive and not making it home that day, or not making it wherever you were headed to that day. And then we add in the environment issues. It was raining off and on, so the bleachers were wet. Those are steel bleachers. They're very slippery. So that in itself, a steel bleacher in concrete, your head hit that, shoot, you probably be... Listen, he was facing an imminent harm and death. Then we have the multiple assailants doctrine. And remember, I told y'all it's Jordan versus State. So if anybody ever asks you, why do you have that viewpoint? You tell them that under Texas state law, if we're talking about the Carmelo Anthony situation, the multiple assailants doctrine, and we reference Jordan versus State, and your actions are based on the danger, the actions are based on the danger posed by the entire group and not just one person, which is very important. Because one person can be doing hella damage and everybody else just kicking you, but ultimately somebody punch you hard enough in the side and they bust your spleen or something like that. Internal bleeding. People really have these issues after they've gotten into fights and stuff. Like, that shit is serious. It really is. I'm being nosy. Hold on. What this is? This Impala. Okay, so let's get back to it. My bad. I was being nosy. I was peeking out the window. I don't like seeing strange cars, baby. Like, who you here for? Nah. But so boom. Under the multiple assailant doctrine, it has all kinds of pieces and additives, because these situations obviously had to arise in the past, or we wouldn't have case law to reference them. So these are precedences, which means that these are situations and scenarios that have played out with other cases that you reference to make that argument. So targeting non-strikers. If a group attacks you, you are legally justified in using force or deadly force against any member of that group. Anybody, right? What's up, Mike Ash? Acts of encouragement. This includes individuals who are not actively striking you, but are encouraging, aiding, blocking your escape. The law treats the group actions collectively. This is why they did not go after Hunter. This is why Carmelo had to be the fall guy. Are y'all following me? Because when we introduce the multiple assailant doctrine, baby, it's a game changer. It's a game changer. Wouldn't we say that Eddie was one of the acts of encouragement? Let's read it again. Let's get it again now. And this is under the multiple assailant doctrines. Under the Texas law, multiple assailants doctrine established through Texas court criminal appeals case law, and it was Jordan versus one of the many, because it's always more than one. One of the many was Jordan versus State. Acts of encouragement. This includes individuals who are not actively striking you, but are encouraging, aiding, or blocking your escape. The law treats the group's actions collectively. So if, like I said yesterday, and I've been saying, if Eddie set him up to get jumped, they go over there. Eddie's supposed to be the setup guy and the cameraman, right? But what ends up happening is against their plans and what they had planned for Carmelo. Carmelo is spooked. So he grabs the, allegedly, may find the closest thing to him, whatever the case may be. And somehow Hunter is unalive, not Hunter, Austin is unalived. And who are they protecting? I've been saying they protecting Hunter, Eddie, and the other boy who was with them, the third boy that I don't know his name. I don't. Okay, so statutory core requirements. To successfully argue self-defense involving deadly force under Texas Penal Code 9.32, your situation must meet the following criteria. We're going to go over the criteria. Reasonable belief. An ordinary, prudent person in your position would believe that deadly force was the only immediate way to prevent death or serious bodily harm. No provocation. You must not have provoked or started the encounter. Clean hands. You cannot be engaging in criminal activity at the time you use force. Now we know Austin and Hunter and Eddie was engaging in criminal activity, and they should have been charged with, and this would turn the case on its head, right? If this was introduced correctly. But y'all see why the narrative is that Carmelo provoked Austin, right? Because it's going to work in their benefit so that Hunter and Eddie and the other boy is not prosecuted. So we understand and we see this, right? Put a one in the chat if y'all with me. Just type and let me know that you understand where I'm going with this and why I brought this up and interrupted Miss Daisy giving her accounts, because Miss Daisy is one of the many people that's coming forward that saw the video last year. Miss Daisy, I am not gonna lie to y'all, she's been talking about it. I found a TikTok, but she's been talking about it on TikTok. It's a whole community of people who have been talking about it on TikTok for the longest. But in the last piece of the statutory requirements to apply the multiple assailant doctrine is lawful presence. You must have a legal right to be in the location where the attack occurs. Remember, they kept saying that he didn't belong there. He didn't belong there. That's why I said the narrative that was spun from the day the story plunged out into the media, it was a narrative attached to it that labeled Carmelo the provocateur, that he wasn't supposed to be there. I heard stories of people saying that he was suspended and he wasn't supposed to be at the track meet. I heard people saying at first that he didn't run track, he only played football. Come to find out, he's the team captain of the track team. He's the team captain of the football team. He's mighty damn good. It's a cover up. Because I don't see why I don't understand why his attorney, and I believe his name, the shitball name is Mike Howard, I believe. But I don't understand why he wouldn't make this argument with these bases, because this is what truly matches what these people are describing that they saw on the tape at ISD. They saying he got jumped. Stand your ground law. If you meet the requirements listed above, which is, remember, Remember this, if y'all ever get into any debates with people about Carmelo being jumped and why we think it's a cover-up, we're going to maneuver to the multiple assailant doctrine, right? So Carmelo would have been justified with unaliving Austin, and the other three boys that were involved, possibly even including the two who went to the coach to distract him, could be charged, right? Y'all know these people ain't, them folks in Frisco ain't finna let it go down like that. They gonna protect their kids, even if it means lying on another innocent child and sending him to prison. But the truth coming out. Can't hold to that. Can't hold to that. So if you meet the requirements listed above, Texas law dictates that you have no duty to retreat before using deadly force. You are permitted to stand your ground anywhere you have a lawful right to be. In Texas, baby. And Florida, we do have a stand your ground law. Like I said, when you got so many people just coming out now, and they coming out daily, like they coming out, like I think just this last week alone, I've come across 1, 2, maybe 5 of them that were speaking. None of these people have close relationships with each other, except for two black teachers. I want to say they both teachers, but one of the black man, T sturdy, and he said he wanted to see the video for himself. He live in Texas, so he said he was gonna request. He had a close friend tell him how to go about requesting that, and he did. But let's finish with Miss Daisy.
Sis, go ahead, sis.
So from there, you could see arm movements. Again, it's clear, and you could see kind of like elbows moving back and forth. And as I had said, you had noticed a head pop up and back. This is where I'm assuming it is Carmelo because of the next moves that happened next. Once he was pulled back into the canopy, he immediately scattered back up those bleacher steps. And it was about 3 to 4 bleacher steps. He paused, looked to his left, to look to his right, and he took to his left, which would have been my right, staring at him, running down those steps. As he reaches the bottom of those metal bleachers, he trips and falls. He picks back up and starts running back off to my right. At that time, I had noticed 3 individuals chasing after him. And I want to remind you that no one had moved from the canopy outside of these 4 individuals, Carmelo and the 3 chasing him. From there, I took my eyes directly back over to the bleacher steps, and I see Austin reaching the last couple of steps. And that is where he is holding his chest, and he collapses to the ground. He falls to his right, which would have been my left. From there, I cannot confirm or deny if Hunter did come up or not. I never saw anybody from my right side come back over to that way. I did see somebody in a blue hoodie. I'm assuming it was a teacher, coach, athletic trainer, just due to the build of the body, right? And then from there, minutes had passed and officers had arrived and ambulances. So I don't have to go into much more detail after that.
Miss Daisy, my show said that they noticed Carmelo back up a little bit as if he was true.
Mm-hmm.
Are you saying that from your account, when you watched the video, it did seem as though Carmelo was trying to remove himself before he got pulled back in?
That is correct, from what I had seen on the video. And kind of like I said, he could have either been escaping, or it could have been a push, a punch, a shove, a grab that had knocked him back at the same time as he was trying to flee. It was so much movement that happened so quickly, and all I can see is the backs of these individuals. And I've always said it was calm before they walked up. He was sitting there minding his own business. There was not an issue, and you could tell until those individuals walked up.
If you don't like to wear bras,
I mean, that's a mouthful, right? That's a mouthful. Is it not?
From just a synopsis, and thank you, Ms. Daisy, and thank you to your husband for allowing this too. Shout out to him too. I can't leave him out. Shout out to him too. But I want to say this as a synopsis from what you've seen. Do you think it was just enough cause for an individual to defend themselves in a way that exceeded his own fist? Do you think that it was just cause for an individual to defend themselves that exceeded in a way that was beyond like his hands?
I believe that Carmelo did what he needed to do to arrive home safely that day.
No captivity. I want you guys to pay attention. This is Miss Daisy's account. Okay, I just let her talk. Of course, I didn't even see the video, right? So I can't force her to say anything because I didn't see it at all. But I want you guys to understand, everybody that's been paying attention to this series of shows, mostly everybody's account is pretty much the same. I said 95%. I'm gonna push it up to 98%. It might be 2% nuances. This video exists, right, Miss Daisy? You're not just making this up. This is not a publicity stunt. You're not clout chasing or nothing like that, right, Miss Daisy?
Can y'all hear that? Hold on. Tell me if y'all can hear this. Y'all hear it? Oh, so y'all can't hear it? Y'all can't? Okay. Thank you for telling me that. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm gonna take it back just a little bit. I'm gonna take it back just a little bit. My bad.
Not at all. I wouldn't have taken my time out to fill the form out, to have driven all that way.
It might be like 2% nuance or something like that. This video exists, right, Miss Daisy? You're not just making this up. This is not a publicity stunt. You're not clout chasing or nothing like that, right, Miss Daisy?
Not at all. I wouldn't have taken my time out to fill the form out, to have driven all that way, gas, time, sitting there waiting in the lobby. I wouldn't have wasted all that time to, for clout chasing or anything, or to lie to anybody. I have no reason to lie. I have no skin in the game. I don't know anybody. It's just me wanting to know the truth that I feel like everyone deserves.
Being in other forums, have you been accused of making this up before or lying?
Of course. I don't feel like people want to know the truth. And even if they were to see it with their own eyes, as some people have, some people do lie about what they have seen.
As parents, one of the things we've been thinking about the most lately has been screen time. Nowadays, children are constantly surrounded by tablets, games, and screens.
How do you feel when people accuse you of lying? How do you feel? How does that make you feel?
When I know I'm telling the truth, it doesn't bother me. It shouldn't bother me. I have nothing to worry about. I'm honest, and I want to ensure that everybody, when I do tell what I have seen, it's as visual as I saw it. I want to paint the picture for everybody so you can match up the stories, like you said. Am I telling the same thing that somebody else had said? But it's not nice to call somebody a liar. It doesn't feel good.
Ms. Daisy, have you heard lately that Frisco County is denying people to see this video now?
That is correct. So it was midsummer last year when they started